What is up, everybody? Let's get into some live satellite image downlinks. Ah, yes. The king of Mountain Dew. Let's see what it tastes like mixed with vodka. I am under the weather a little bit. We didn't record the podcast last night because Leia and I both got sick. As usual, it is one of our ragamuffin children that gave it to us. So, that's great. That's great. Got a bit of a sore throat, but should be good to podcast tonight. So if you missed the podcast this morning, don't worry. It's because we didn't make it. So we'll make it tonight, and hopefully we'll have it up tomorrow morning. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Okay, so I am running back on the Pi. There we go, back on the Pi. And we do have looks like a AOS in 11 minutes. So that's when the satellite's technically above the horizon. Realistically, for almost all of you, it's going to be probably 10-ish, 6 to 10, depending on how flat your area is. But for me, I don't get it until probably around the 10-ish mark. You'll see it when we get to the elevation. Likely, we're not going to see anything on 15, but I don't know. We might be surprised. So hopefully you're along for the ride because we're going to be hanging out and hopefully doing some satellite passes, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you're taking the journey with me. If not, you missed it. Let's go back to the website so you can go check it out. It's SatDump. And I would argue that you just try this with your stock vertical. Some of these passes are going to not be overhead. They're not going to be a true 90 degree pass. Might as well just try a vertical, throw a vertical antenna on this on a small SDR and see if you can at least copy, right? See if you can get some proof of concept that you're receiving some kind of data. At least you're seeing that. And you're like, oh, hey, if I put up a better antenna, maybe a low noise amplifier, maybe a band pass for just that frequency space. You're talking like for the SDR, homebrew Home Depot antenna using 3D printed parts, like some copper, like thin copper tubing for a V dipole. $100 if you want to get an LNA. That's with an LNA, actually. That'll be about $100. We'll go through Amazon a little bit, and I'll show you all the stuff you could put together to have like a pretty sweet station. The antennas could be a little daunting if you're gonna get one that's a little kind of rock star-ish as far as like capabilities and how you build it and whatnot, but. We4DX, that's right, it's coming up. Pac Beach this week, that's right, guys. Pac Beach, Pacific Beach, the We4DX team are going to be up north in the Pacific Northwest, so make sure you put in the ham radio alerts for We4DX. All right, let's go say hi to our Discord friends. Remember, this is your chance to ask questions, so if you're on the YouTube chat, if you just type in the word question within your question, just ask it, don't ask. Don't ask to ask a question, just ask the question. We're all here for that. Or at Ham Radio Crash Course. But if you can, consider joining us on Discord, scrolling down to hashtag live-stream. That's our text chat. And then below that is hashtag live-stream /Afterchat. That's the voice chat. So if you set up speaker and mic and set a PTT button, you can actually ask your question to us, which I highly, highly recommend because that's the best way for us to have a two-way conversation. It's a lot faster than chat. So we would appreciate that. Okay, let's hop on over. Mike said this is going to be fun, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say. I'm hopping into
Your
Discord.
amateur extra license is older than me.
There we go. Howdy. How's it going, everybody?
Fine.
Fine.
Everybody got your
Great for you.
Everybody got your sat dumps running right now? You got your dumps up?
Oh, we've been talking to our South Korean friend until you just got here.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I'm very happy about it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. I heard that I missed you a couple of weeks ago. You hopped in, and I had already logged off for the evening, so sorry about that. But yeah, thanks for joining us out here. Glad you could make it. Where about in South Korea are you?
Well, I'm fine actually. Things are going very well, so I can even start my university club again for 24 years.
Oh,
Uh, for the for the first time since 24 years ago, this club has closed. So I'm gonna use a Hotel Lima Zero Golf Kilo uniform as a new call sign. It's an old call sign, but I'm gonna resurrect. I have to resurrect the things and going to use more than 1 kilowatts to spread all over the world. So that's my plan right now.
right on. Well, very good. I'm glad you're out here with us, so appreciate you hanging out. If you have any questions that are coming up, as we're tooting along here, let us know. But let's take a minute and say hi and a big welcome to anybody who's joining us here for the first time in the Discord After Chat. We like to take a minute and thank you for joining us. If you are here for the first time, would just like to introduce yourself, that'd be great. But if you have a question, your questions have priority right now. So anybody who's first time like to say hi or ask a question, come now.
May I introduce myself?
Yes, absolutely. That would be a perfect time to do a proper introduction.
Yeah, my name is Listen Gun. Well, you can call me uh, House Stove or whatever it is.
Uh,
So I'm living in South Korea, and I recently participated to the Yora summer camp in Region One, which held in Czech Republic, and also uh, I passed a FCC amateur extra and Korean first time operator for amateur radio operator,
mhm.
and currently preparing to for Japanese amateur radio sub operator for the first one for get a HAREC or CPT 61-02, and I'm trying to experience everything about amateur radio stuffs or any the things anyone else didn't like take a FCC test in South Korea or take a Japanese test as a foreigner because everyone thought it was impossible, but I did it. So
Congrats.
yeah, so I'm that kind of nerd. So I didn't. I'm the Yeah, I'm that kind of nerd. So you might not see in the on air, but I'm my purpose is making some weird experience to make people interesting and so let them not to do things uh like me I do. So yeah,
Right on.
I'm that kind of nerd. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
good.
very much.
Yeah. What's the frequency asked question? Do you have to use an SDR? Can you use a wideband receive TXR? Good question. I'm not really sure. I'm sure you could just record the audio as a WAV file and then pass it into this as a, just a recorded file, and you could do it that way for post-processing. The live, though, I'm not sure. I think you need the SDR control because you need to be able to move the frequency, at least with this app. This app generally wants to use either a network-attached SDR or a physically attached SDR. But somebody in the chat may correct me. One of the smart developer team might still be hanging around, and so if you guys have an answer for that, that'd be great. Well, thank you, House Dove, for joining us. Appreciate that. Anybody else new here for the first time that would like to say hi or ask a question? You guys have priority. Come first now. All right. Oh,
Josh, I got a question for you.
all right. Happily taken. Go for it, bud.
So, my question is, can I use a web SDI for this, or does it have to be a dongle itself?
Good question. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, well, so let me go back to flight. I believe SatDump accepts recording. Yeah, so I covered that. But let me bring up the SatDump on my. I don't want to mess with what I've got set up on the Raspberry Pi. So let me bring it back up on my PC here, my Windows PC, and I'll see if we can change to something where we can select. There we go. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so if we go to recording and in the drop down, so if you had, let's see, a SPI server or an SDR++ server or a Pluto SDR IP, those are all attached devices that you may have access to over the internet. I don't know if Kiwi SDR or Web SDR will do it for you. But like I said, if someone knows better in the chat, feel free to correct me. But I think that's the correct statement.
And I took a look at the WebSDR site, and there's lots of 2-meter receivers, but nobody's receiving 137.
That's kind of what I expect.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, you can use a web SDR as long as it gets the right signal. I did it actually right before I bought the SDR dongle. You just have to pipe it with a virtual audio cable into. I was using WX IMG.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So WebSDR into something that can do 137.9 or .1, and then use virtual audio cable to pipe the audio.
Yeah, I've done that. I did that a couple of times. It worked pretty well.
I see. How do you handle Doppler shift?
By hand.
Oh, you are a monster. Okay. Don't know that I recommend it that way.
It's not easy.
No, that's not easy. That's not easy.
The way I did it was I had Orbitron up on one screen and was adjusting the frequency as it passed.
Considering how cheap these SDRs are, at like, $25. Actually, they're more than that now. But yeah, in fact, I'll start grabbing the Amazon links here to show, and they are in the description, but not all of them. Right now, I'm actually switched to a new elect. But
actually, I think one of the programs compensates itself for the Doppler shift without having to change frequency.
Really?
I believe so. I can't
Oh,
remember.
the application does it. Interesting.
Yes.
So this is the low noise amp, the LNA. That's $45. I'll drop a link for that if anybody's curious. Oh, you know what? We're about ready to have a 10 seconds until we break the horizon. Realistically, again, most of you are... Well, some of you, if you're, let's see, east of me, I think that's right. You should already have... yeah, see, the app just switched. So it thinks that there's a signal coming up. I did set it to like 10 or 8 for the elevation, or maybe I took it out. But anyway, it's going to attempt to decode. That's what it's doing right there. So we'll just let it sit. I don't think it's going to see anything on NOAA 15, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky.
And Josh, I got another question for you when you're ready.
Yeah, shoot.
What's the best way to set up an Ecom truck out of an old decommissioned ambulance?
What is the best way to set up a decommissioned ambulance?
An Ecom truck.
Well, I mean, put a bunch of radios and put a bunch of
take an
antennas on
ambulance
it.
into an Ecom truck. Oh, just stuff all the radios in it. Simple.
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at that for a couple weeks now.
I think that sounds like a fun project.
Find a pneumatic mass.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so really quick, just to add, we are getting a bit of a signal. I don't know that it's actually going to decode anything for us, but I am seeing vertical lines. You may not be able to see it on the live stream, but I'm seeing vertical lines next to that carrier frequency, and that's what you'd expect with NOAA.
They are faint, but they are there.
Mm-hmm. So that's good.
May I ask
Josh,
something? Oh, sorry.
Was that? We'll go to Dove. Was that Dove? Go ahead, Dove. Ask your question, and we'll go back. Who asks?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question about using satellite like NOAA or kind of things that the before amateur radio, I started from RTS SDR to get to use a satellite like NOAA or GPS satellite, but I have since that day, I have some wonder that there's a ham radio Deluxe. There's a program called the Ham Radio Deluxe. Do you
Yes.
know that?
Yes, that's what I use.
Yeah, I saw the price and I freaking out. So
Well, it's
so
you pay that once for a year, and that allows you all the upgrades in that year period, and then whatever version you end up with at the end of the year, you just keep that, and that's the version it sticks with, and you don't get upgrades after that point. But you don't lose the software; you still have full access to it.
that's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, I surprised the price for the first time. So
Yeah.
oh, and I also tried to use this for Sejong University for controlling cube satellite,
Oh, okay.
but because they showed it once before about 1 years ago, but I I just want to know is that program is quite feasible sorry, I'll change the word. Is that program is best for manipulating communicating with satellite like CubeSat or NOAA or kind of things because I failed to use that program very well. So
Ham Radio Deluxe does have a satellite radio control for satellites application built in, as well as a rotor controller, and it will do Doppler shift for satellites. It'll do both linear satellites and FM satellites. So as long as your radio can give it cat control, it will be able to control it for shifting frequencies and all the other things you want to do. The antenna rotor control is also nice.
oh, then we don't have to use it with USB or kind of things. Just a cat.
Well, it's cat over USB. So it would be cat control of the radio via the USB connection.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I never use cat protocol with 705, so I didn't realize that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Okay, really quick, I saw a chat I want to hit really fast. Michael says, oh, no, wait, Michael is already in the process of doing it. I didn't even get to it, so hold on. Michael said, hey, Josh, I'm ready to take my ham tech test. Well, congratulations. That's great news. If you join us on the Discord and you go to hashtag testing questions, I realize they're already helping you in the chat, but this is for everybody else that's interested in taking your test. If you go to testing questions, you can talk with the VEs, the volunteer examiners, and potentially coordinate a test in record time. So FYI on that. But all right, there was somebody else who had a question on the Discord. Go ahead.
Hey, Josh. I was just going to mention that you shouldn't have to even compensate for Doppler at 137.62 on your downlink. You should be fine.
Okay, sure. I mean, if it's willing to do it, I'll take it. But yeah, you're probably right.
Josh, may I call you Josh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Josh, I have a question that how now I have an amateur extra, but how can I be a VE?
You just have to find a volunteer examiner team and ask them how to join. And there's usually some paperwork you have to fill out, and that's about it.
Oh, just finding a team, the exam team, that's all?
Yeah, usually an exam team is connected to a VEC, a volunteer examiner coordinator, and that coordinator is the one that, organizes the volunteer examiners.
Oh, okay. So I have to meet coordinator for that.
Not necessarily have to meet the coordinator. You can meet whomever is leading the volunteer examiners. We just assume that that volunteer examiner team has already done the coordination with the VEC, if you will. So, for instance, the Ham Radio Crash Course VE team, we use the ARRL VEC, and I think we have one or two others that we sometimes use.
AWRL? Say it again, please.
Yes, the ARRL. They are the one of the United States VECs.
Oh, right. They send a message for me. BOVE, like a BOVE for that, yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. So Bricker House asked, Josh, are you recording this pass? Well, insofar as it's live right now on my live stream, and it's happening live, yes. And it looks like it's just putting out a like a test image. I don't know that it's actually doing imaging right now, but I don't know, we'll see. It's almost done with the pass. We'll check it when we're done. When it's done.
I saw someone else earlier in the chat say that NOAA 15 has weakened transmit, so it's not going to be that great of a image.
Well, the fact that we're getting something, so see right here, that's mine, and I'm on a very low pass, and it still looks pretty good. The that's still proof of concept, right? You're looking for that. That's good.
Oh, absolutely.
The Jeff, I don't know. The LNA that I saw, the new elect one, takes a USB connection. I think it's USB micro, sadly. If I could find a USB-C LNA, that would be fantastic. Or I guess one that you could do over a coax, like a power supply. That'd be fun too. All right, back to the Discord. Anybody here for the first time that would like to say hi or ask a question, come now. You guys get priority, and we'd like to answer your questions and give them the priority they need.
I'm sorry to ask several times about different topic, but may I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I try to use WSDX for... Oh, sorry. WXJX, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. WSJTX.
Yeah, I try to use them in my 705, but when I use it on MacBook, but when I connect it to MacBook from my radio, which is 705, my waterfall suddenly being red, and there's a lot of noise coming from MacBook, almost burn on my radio. So is there a proper way to connect CAT or just connecting USB to my radio?
Which radio are you using?
IC705.
Ah, okay. You might need a ferrite, USB ferrite, wrapped around. Wrapped around the USB cable a couple of times, and possibly on the coax side leading into the radio as well. It might be a good idea to add a ferrite there. And then, as far as you're saying, the transmit is red or the receive is red, the left side.
Receive.
Okay, then that means that the volume coming out of the 705 is too high, and you just need to lower that volume in the cat control settings in the 705.
Oh, you mean the RX level?
Well, this would be the level that is going out of the radio and into your computer, so that would be the receive audio. Yeah.
Okay. That's all?
Well, I'd start there and then come back and tell me if you still have a problem.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that was the end of the NOAA 15 pass, which is still in decoding state. There will be a progress bar at the bottom that will tell you images that it processes when it's all done with it, and then you'll be able. We'll open up in a minute, but I don't have a lot that we got. I think it's just going to be like a test image kind of thing coming out of 15. But proof of concept for sure. And we have another, so now it's done. There it goes, it's finished. And it's copying the settings. It says, warning, congratulations, you received NOAA 15 on APT. So congratulations, everybody. And the next one for me is actually almost directly overhead, so. All right. Anybody else here for the first time in the Discord that would like to say hi, get a bit of a welcome, and if you got a question, this is your time for priority chat. You get all your questions answered priority-wise. Go ahead. All right, well, then it's just us hanging out here, guys, and maybe ladies. How's it going, everybody? Are y'all trying sat dump right now? All right.
It's too hot to do anything, Josh.
What do you mean it's too hot to do anything? What are you talking about?
It's too hot.
What is set dump?
Satellite dump or sat dump is the application I'm running on the live stream right now. It's downlinking NOAA and Meteor satellite weather images from space.
That's cool. Thank you very much, and sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. Just treat it like a repeater. If people are talking, just give it a second before you key up. So what were you saying, Frank? How hot is it where you're at?
100. It's dropped now since it's the sun's going over the hill. It was 102 today. It's currently 93.
Good Lord.
You want to know what's funny? I'm like 2 hours from you.
What? Really? What? You must be inland.
Further inland than I'm not going to say where, but I'll message you.
Yeah. It's okay.
I did download the equipment.
So 1 second, Dove. Jeremy, what'd you say? I barely heard you.
Nothing yet. He's first.
Yeah, Jeremy, what did you say?
I said I did download it, but I don't have a radio or an antenna or anything else with it, but I just downloaded it anyways.
Yeah, same for me, and it's too dark outside to be putting the antennas up.
Well, just connect it to your VHF UHF antenna and see if it works. Just connect it to your vertical.
Yeah, I've got the sat dump running right now, but I'm not picking anything up yet as for showing the passes.
Oh, did you update the LTE file?
That may be something I missed.
Yeah, go to your settings and make sure you click the update under LTE. Otherwise, you won't see any passes. Yeah, you've got to have. That's basically the Kepler's. That's your pass prediction file.
I got you. I was thinking it already had that kind of stuff in it.
No. Yeah, you download it first. Go ahead. Sorry.
For our friend with the IC705 with their question, I put a ferrite cable in the live chat.
Hey, right on. So I think support your local gunfighter may have not waited long enough. Keep in mind our YouTube bot that we have takes it a second for it to catch up Discord messages and throw them over to YouTube and vice versa. This is an interconnected chat, so we see the YouTube chat and the Discord chat, and I believe Twitch as well. Anybody on Twitch? If you're on Twitch, give me a shout out. But yeah, we should see them all. So what else?
Hey, Josh.
Yo, sir. Hey, what's up, Mike? I saw you in there, but
hey,
good to talk with you.
How far out do those projections go for the Keplerian data?
I believe the Keplers will be close for like a couple of days before you have to update them.
Oh, okay.
You can get them on APRS.
Useful for people in hurricane-affected areas. You could monitor it, but if you can't get internet, then you can't update that stuff.
Yeah, did you hear what Grayman said there, Mike? You can update them on APRS.
Oh, shut up. I can't because I can't hit the antenna.
That's right. Can't hit that digipeater. I think that digipeater is defunct, Mike. I think that's a joke.
Yeah.
I think that
dude,
guy's
it picks
lying.
me up every time I drive.
Oh, it
by.
does? Oh, okay. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I beacon APRS like all the time when I'm driving.
Oh, all right. All right. So it is actually functioning.
I drive by it all the time.
Okay.
And I know where it picks me up.
It could be running a Baofeng with a Baofeng antenna on it. You don't know.
No, the where it is, if you look at the data for that thing, I don't mean to take over the stream.
No,
here,
you're good. You're good.
But it says it's up 160 feet with I forget the antenna, 25 watts maybe, and it's like right off the freeway. Like I've straight up looked at it on Google Maps exactly where it is. Well, at least per the pinpoint on APRS.fi, but I know exactly where it is, and I can't hit it.
So John P. Bishop says, "Hi Josh, I'm new here," and he's on Discord. So John, make sure you go to the hashtag live-stream site. I think you're already there, but if you go to hashtag live-stream /afterchat, that's the voice chat. Set a mic and a speaker, and you can say hi to us. And if you got a question, we'll take it there, or we'll take it in text or chat. It doesn't matter.
Looks like he is in voice, but he's having voice issues. So, John, you need to set a PTT button in your voice activity window.
Yeah, you got to set that PTT button. Oops, let's see. Boy, I've answered this like 4 weeks running. Yeah, I pull some of them down occasionally if I'm going to make a video out of them, or there's some kind of secret squirrel info I don't want leaked. And the last 3 weeks ago, 2 of the weeks had ones that I privated, mainly because I wanted people to focus on that ARRL Learning Institute one for the teachers, than fool around with our shenanigans in the after chat. But we didn't mess with last week, so. A George Starr, thank you for coming a member. Appreciate you, bud. I saw a question, but I may have to come back to it. Somebody said they're on 10 meters for the first time as a technician. That's what it was. And
that was over in Discord.
I'm transmitting for my first time on HF today, 10 meters with technician license. I notice when I transmit, the waterfall shows my activity on both sides of the frequency. So when you transmit on a radio, it deafens the receiver, and it's showing you the outbound audio, your mic, what you're modulating the radio with. At least that's what I expect it to do. If you hear yourself, that just means that you have the monitor function turned on, which some people like, some people don't. That's up to you, but I think that's what they're asking. Let's see. Frequency activity on both sides. When I turned on my mic gain down enough that my activity only showed up where I expect, no one could hear me. Is it normal to have the waterfall show activity on the other side of the SSB when transmitting, or am I doing something wrong? Well, you didn't tell us what radio also.
Josh, I did ask him if he's using USB or AM, and he is using USB.
I assumed that. Yeah. Which radio is it?
He's just got the carrier frequency set to the center.
Yeah,
that's.
You
do it on the waterfall when you transmit. That's probably all it is.
If he says 7300 or something along those lines, FTDX10. The radio's an FTDX10. So let me show you. Actually, I can give you a demonstration of this. So let me go back to me. So right here is my carrier frequency, or the line. And if you hold down, this is just the icon. So if you hold down, and let me get myself out of the way here. So see how it says center type display, carrier point center? You can change that to filter center, carrier point center. And you can also, I believe, marker positions, filter center. One of these will be the one that changes whether you're directly in the middle of your modulation, so your single sideband, or the actual carrier. So if you're upper sideband, you're always going to be the right-hand side of that line for whatever your fundamental frequency is. So you just have to check to see what your setting is there, and that should sort that out. Make sense? Hopefully. Absolute frequency, yeah, that's it. That's what you want. All right.
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, question.
Oh. Yeah, Josh, actually 2 questions. One is when you use an SDR toggle, you don't need a radio involved in that, correct?
Well, the SDR dongle is a radio, but instead of having more traditional RF components, it has an analog to digital converter. And so it's taking that analog information, converting it to a digital signal, ones and zeros, right, and passing it into the computer. And the computer is doing the processing of that data.
Okay, and the second question is, I got I believe it's called the Innovato. It's the hand clock.
Yeah, Innovato, I think. But yeah, okay.
Will that run?
That's just a computer, right?
Yeah, it's just a small mini computer.
Yeah, it runs Windows, or is it Linux?
It's Linux and it's ARM based.
Yeah, so you could run the SatDump ARM application like I'm running right now on this Raspberry Pi. My general feeling is that if you can run this on a Raspberry Pi, you can run it on almost anything, because Raspberry Pis are pretty gutless.
Okay, that answers my question, because I'm just now going to get my Innovato set up on a monitor and run ham clock, and this would be interesting to do.
Right on. Yeah, and I'm telling you, this is going to be the new thing. If I can get a really nice antenna, I think I'm gonna take down the wires that I'm using on that the eggnogs, and I'm gonna build something a little bit more robust. I'm gonna bring this to all kinds of campouts and stuff with the scouts, and the Raspberry Pi has headless. I run it headless, so this would be super awesome to run with kids as a demonstration piece. This is like, it's so easy to do this now. It's so easy. Just load your TLEs before you go if you're not going to have access to the internet. Yeah, this is awesome.
Comment on the TLEs.
Go ahead, comment.
So yeah, I tried to update them, and it's telling me you can't update them. I tried to go to the web page itself, and it says no GP data found. That's something you've seen before?
No GP data found. Did you try Googling the problem or going to the SatDump website to see if they have a...
Yeah, I'm about to do that. But yeah, you just mentioned the downloading the TLEs. I'm like, I can't seem to download the TLE, so I'm digging into that now.
See if you can dig into it and see if you can find an answer before we turn over to it, because we still have some questions to run through. But we may end up looking at that, because I imagine other people might have a similar problem. Because I couldn't download them on my Windows PC, which doesn't make any sense, because that's literally where my internet it's connected to the internet. So Mark Elkill says we're headed down to Asheville to help out and have a couple of Baofeng radios. Well, good on you, man. I hope you're able to get in there. I know that there are some people who've been kind of turned away from helping. And I think that that's more or less because of the accessibility of some of these areas is incredibly difficult, and they don't want people jamming up the roads. So keep that in mind. Douglas V asks, which Pi am I using? Raspberry Pi 5. And all right, so Ethan. Hey, Josh and viewers. I'll come back to Discord in a second. Just passed my technician exam a few days ago and excited to start studying for general. My question is, what beginner radio would you recommend for SOTA, POTA, Manpack? I've been looking at the Xiegu G90 or the Yaesu FT891, but am open to suggestions. I know you've done a video or two, but I was wondering if anything has changed since. Oh, Ethan, things change constantly because new radios come out. Of course, the most important question is, what's your budget, bud? You got to tell us what's your budget. We need to know what your budget is. And do you want ultra portable, like backpack portable, or do you want something that you can just lug around and put on a picnic table from the trunk of your vehicle? So let us know that to the best of your ability, and we'll try to answer. All right. Back to Discord. Did somebody have a question they were going to ask? I think I stepped on somebody.
Did you see that video I just dropped in chat?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I got a ton of those videos.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
The problem is that if it's a news station, they get kind of antsy in the pantsy when it comes to striking videos. So I try not to use news stories very often like that on my videos.
I just was wondering if you'd seen it, that's all.
Yeah, I did. I saw that, and there's actually a young man who... Eagle Scout is adjacent to the area, started hearing what was going on, got on his radio, started helping. I believe they did. There was a TikTok that covered him to a pretty nice detail. I was thinking about making a short, kind of giving a shout out to him as well. Number of people, just absolute. The ham radio operators. Anybody who says ham radio doesn't help in an emergency, this is going to be the thing we point at for decades because of what amateur radio could do that no one else could do, even our federal government to a large level.
Has Randolfo mentioned any GMRS guys helping out?
No, but I've heard GMRS, FRS, everything was used. Every radio service that is available to citizens was used. MERS too. Every operator of radios was useful in this situation. Is useful. They still need help. They're still looking for radio operators. Superb job everybody's doing. It's horrible that we have to go through it, but we came through with flying colors from my point of view. Yeah, great job, everybody.
So, Josh, there's a very interesting question from Mark Elkhill in the chat. I think he's the one going down to Asheville with Baofangs.
Oh, okay, let me see.
He asked, which video is the best on the channel for a crash course? Because they're going down there in a few. We only have a couple days before deploying down, so we don't have a ton of time. He's also retired military.
I gotcha, bud. All right, so this is. let me go back over here. Where is it? Let me see if I can just do this. Can I do Baofeng noob and let me see what comes up? Yep, that's it. Baofeng ham radio. Noob to skilled in 60 minutes. This was my attempt to, as quickly as possible, go through the functionality of a Baofeng. Get up to speed on a Baofeng ASAP. This one be the one.
Josh.
Yes.
May I ask how long did you use your cable until that?
For the 705, like how long is mine?
No. I mean, how long it takes. How long it takes to being rust or oxidized? Yeah.
The USB cable?
No. Just RG58 or RG316.
Coax. You're talking about the coax.
Oh, yeah, coax.
Yeah, if your coax is appropriately waterproofed on the connectors, then it should last for years without any problem. And really the biggest issue is water ingress, water getting into the coax. That's the biggest problem you'll experience.
It can rust everything in the cable or even the antenna?
No, because you generally don't use ferrous metals in coax. It's going to be aluminum and copper and other things like that. So they don't really rust. They oxidize, which I guess you could claim is a form of rust to a degree, but it's not the same molecular compound. But yeah, you can get oxidization on it. But if you go through the process of waterproofing your connectors, so if you use a little bit of, where is it? What am I thinking of? The paste we shove into the connectors sometimes. Dialytic grease on the connector. Wrap that and then tighten it down really good. And then use a coax wrap around the coax really tightly, really nice. And then maybe put some electrical tape on that. You could go years. I haven't touched mine for probably 5 years in some cases outside. You won't have a problem. As long as you don't break if the shield doesn't get damaged, the coax shield. Most of that coax shield is direct bury capable, so it's fine.
Okay, then I should make my cable in that with that, yeah. And another one. Currently I'm living some high apartment which is 28 floors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning to, I used the laser things to measure the next door building the distance of the next door building, which is 43 meters.
Okay.
So I think it might be good to use 3.5 half-wave antenna, dipole antenna, or end-fed antenna for 40 meters. But it's a building to buildings, right?
Yes, but considering how high up you're going to be, how are you going to manage the other side? Do you have somebody else that can help you?
180 meters high.
Yeah, but who's on the other side that you're going to be throwing the line to? And do you have approval to do that?
There will be someone, and I think I'm gonna use drones for fly my wire, but
do you have the approval to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So while you can put up like a dipole, the situation is if you put up a dipole, then your coax is going to be fed in the middle, which is in the middle of the span between those two buildings, the coax connector. That's not going to work very well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So you might want to just have like an end fed, and you run the long wire out, and use it as an end fed.
Yeah.
End fed would be a little stealthier too, because you could use a light wire.
Right. Then there's no choice. I should use end fed then.
That seems the easiest way. There's other ways you could go, but that seems the easiest way.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. Good luck in your clandestine antenna application with your drone.
I mean, with the drone, I'm very nervous about it. Actually, I got the permission, but there's an Air Force base.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know that I'd be messing around with that, but hey, that if they let you do it, yeah, I'd do it.
And also, I have a license for flying drones, but I can see the air base with my bare eyes.
Yeah. Somebody KB9MTD said you can put up a loop, or you could use a loop antenna. You could, but that would make the installation of all of this much more fiddly and more apt to failure. A long wire is simple, and if he only had a drone, he could probably still do it with relative ease. What you could do, which would be kind of interesting, this would take a lot of cordage to make this work, though, is like a pulley system. Like think of a clothesline that some apartments like used to have in New York and stuff like that. A pulley system that you'd have a line that you could put an antenna hook on one of them and just hand over hand pull the antenna out and then lock it off, and then you could use that. Then you could change your antennas up. You could do all kinds of stuff with a pulley system. I gotta let my dog in. She's barking about something, so hold on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mark, you're 100% right.
I'm sorry, but I'm doing legal things, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, legal is always important.
Yes, please. I don't know what the rules are in Korea, so.
You should try it at a neighbor's apartment first.
Yeah, I already say about it, and I already have a permission by the president of the other buildings. So I even have the code number for go to the highest floor. So it's okay. Yeah.
All right.
I took 2 years for this. Yeah.
I've got the answer on the satellite problem.
Oh, what is it?
Oh.
So AIM deorbited about a month ago, and there's not a new build since it's happened. So you will have to do the nightly build, and you'll have to compile it yourself.
Wait, what now? Say that again.
The NASA's AIM satellite deorbited about a month ago, and they haven't done a new build for the regular build since then, but it is fixed in the nightly build.
Right. So, but what does that have to do with downloading the LTEs off of sat?
The satellite that generated those files. Their app points to that data. So they've had to point it to a different data now, but that's in the build of the app. You can't just select it. So you have to do the nightly build where you compile it yourself.
Oh, so that's why my Linux works, but the Windows installer doesn't work?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So there you go. Another reason to use Raspberry Pi.
It's always fun to compile code.
That's right.
Only as root, Don.
Yeah, it's the only way to install a cross compiler.
Hey, so Michael's asking me a lot of questions about taking the tests and all that stuff. Michael, join the test questions chat, and then just wait for someone to talk with you. They'll answer all of your questions. I don't dictate what they use. I'm not. They decide. They provide you all the information. They'll coordinate everything with you. If you have questions, please ask them. I'm just the guy that gets on the videos and does the talky talk.
Josh is the pretty talent.
Looks like Rob and a couple others are helping him already over in testing.
All right, excellent. Oh, interesting. So you can use WinLink to get the TLE data. To download the Keplerians. And Jody, if you're not on the Discord, it's a good reason to join the Discord. Jody drops the best images and how-to info for a lot of stuff. So, oh, thank you, Peggy Banks. I appreciate your kind words there.
I got on 10 meters last night and didn't make any contacts, but I got a taste for it.
Yeah, 10 meters has been popping.
Yeah, I talked to Japan yesterday on 10 at night too.
Mm-hmm.
One question is, okay, 10 meters is best at night or during the afternoon?
Early morning to afternoon.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because it's rare that you can do something like that at night.
Okay, I had it backwards. That's probably why nobody heard me at all.
Yeah, 10 meters, we're at the high side of the solar cycle, so 10 meters is going to be good for about another 2 years or so. And then it's going to start to clamp down to where it's going to have sporadic openings, if at all. 10 meters is kind of flighty that way.
I tell you one thing, though, is definitely put a fire underneath my butt to get my general, because 20 meters was just hopping clear as day.
Oh, yeah, 20 meters is good pretty much all the time. All right.
Well, I'm going to have to try that again. And the G90 has, it's tuned up my ground plane antenna, no problem. It's giving me a 1-to-1 match.
Excellent. Good job. There was somebody who was asking about the G90 earlier, and we asked about a budget, and I don't think I saw the chat. Did it scroll past me? Did I miss it? Did they respond?
I didn't see anything come back.
Oh, okay. Well, just a reminder, if you are going to ask us what radio you should buy, please tell us what your budget is. Otherwise, I'll go tell you to go buy the $6,000 radio.
He just came back in the Discord.
So if Blue Ox over on Discord, I think is Rick, or no, not Rick. It doesn't matter. So, Ethan, that's right. The G90 will have money left over to get antenna parts and coax and all that other fun stuff. So if $750 is your total budget, go G90. If it is not, probably go 891 or the Yaesu 710 field model. You can get the field model sometimes very, very low on discount.
Yeah, but if he's talking about the weight, or the kind of weight you get with like a 6100 or a KX2 or KX3,
Yeah.
Those 3 radios are heavier than that.
Oh, they're all heavier than a KX2 or KX3.
Yeah,
significantly.
Well, he's talking about backpack, and I don't know what kind of backpack he's meaning.
If you're planning on backpacking, a G90 even starts getting a little heavy. So if you are a true pack mule, then a G90 won't be that big of a deal. But we do have, I think K6ARK is in the chat. So Adam, what do you got for backpack portable? It sounds like probably single sideband. Oh, the FX line, right? That's an option.
Yeah, if you can get on the waiting list, you got to email BG2FX. BG2FX.com is the website there. Email them direct and get on the waiting list if you want. It's a very small 80 through 10, or I think 80 through 6 meter actually, up to 20 watt on sideband radio, which is pretty capable. No internal tuner, so you need a resonant antenna. But it's about the weight of a KX2 and about 2/3 the size of a KX2. So probably a decent option there for something that's highly portable and very small. Beyond that, I mean, I'm just a huge fan of the KX2 as one of the best all-around portable HF radios. So it's hard to go wrong with that.
I think it's out of his price range, though. He said $750.
Yeah, you know, I just saw a KX3 sell for $850. So if you watch the market, you can sometimes get lucky. Yeah.
I might have even popped on that for $850.
I know, I was so tempted.
I don't need a KX3 at all, but I might have popped on that.
Well, Mike.
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Somebody said QMX, and no, the QMX isn't there for single sideband yet.
Not yet.
And here's
SDX?
Here's my feelings on that is when he gets the firmware sorted out on the QMX, you might also see potential changes to the kit itself. Maybe, I don't know. But he does come out with modifications and changes to it over time. And so there's not really a point to buy a QMX right now and to just sit on it, even though that's exactly what I did, if you're waiting on the firmware to pick up single sideband. Just wait for single sideband, then buy the kit.
Yeah. So I think, you know, that one thing I've learned from recruiting people for mountain rescue is that there is a very broad range of what people mean when they say backpacking and backpack portable. So I would look for some clarification on that. Is the intent, you know, something that you can carry a few miles to a park location or a not ridiculously hard mountaintop? Then I would say, 8900, what is it? 891. Brain fart there. Yaesu 891 100-watt rig would be an excellent choice for that.
Yeah, I generally echo your sentiment, except of course if you truly mean backpacking, like multi-day backpacking trip, I don't think I'd want to lug around a G90.
No, generally not.
not on my desire at all.
Yeah.
So there was a question. AA0Z mentioned that the Flex 8600 is going to ship next week. That's my understanding. There's emails that went out attesting to that it's starting on the 8th, they're going to start shipping them. And yes, I am told that people are getting the notification and they are paying. I was told that someone did indeed get it. It is not me. I am waiting for my email.
They're also releasing the updated software. That thing's coming out next week too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still version 3, right?
Yeah, it's like 3.8 something.
Llamas are pretty inexpensive to carry your gear.
What?
Llamas or kids?
Llamas. Yeah. No, that even a kid, I wouldn't make them carry a G90.
It's some tough skill building radio carrying that stuff, Josh.
As someone who grew up in Scouts, lugging around a full frame backpack, external frame backpack, I'm not subjecting children to that if I can avoid it.
My knees thank me every day for it.
Nah.
And I guess we've given up completely on the True SDX, right?
The True SDX. No, I don't know.
Mine.
I feel like the True
It-
SDX is like a good third radio or fourth radio. Adam, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, it's a fun thing to play with, but it's not a good radio from a performance standpoint. It's not something you want to operate with.
It's like
it's a good digital radio.
No, it's not good. It works, but it's not good.
Like I said, digital radio.
No, no, not even. If you want to do digital, get like a QMX or, I don't know. And again, $130, right? It's hard to beat the price.
Which is really about what a QMX costs.
Oh, that's true. That's true. If you want to do FT8 things and JS8. There was a John. I think I saw a John. Were you going to say something? Go ahead. Oh, he was just keying up to check his PTT. Let's take another pass through the newcomers. Anybody here for the first time that'd like to say hi, introduce themselves, and ask a question? You guys get priority answers. So go ahead. I see a lot of new faces, but nobody's coming forward. Go ahead, House Dove.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions, so.
I can see that. Well, what's up?
Yeah. Only one by one, okay? I'll
Thank
do
you.
for a minute. So, I'm using 705 with my phone battery. So, do you know about USB PD protocol?
Yes, very much so. I'm a big fan of it for QRP radios.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. Using PD trigger to connect 12 volts or 15 volts to 705 to move, like for 10 watts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me show you something. Hold on.
Oh, is there something?
So,
yeah.
Where is my, there it is. That's it. So this is the cable set that I'm now using. It's a USB-C to coaxial plug for like a QRP radio. It's a 12-volt plug, and it comes with these adapters, so you can plug it into like anything that takes 12 volts. Don't plug this into something that is not 12 volts though, because you'll have a bad day for that device. But yeah, I'm big into that right now.
How much current does that provide?
Max is out at 3 amps, right? Is it 3 amps over PD?
Probably 3 amps at 5 volts or 3 amps at 12 volts.
It might be
interesting.
It might be too. That might be too high at 12 volts, 3 amps. But I know that I can run the 705 at 10 watts if I have a decent sized battery pack, like over 10,000 milliamp.
Well,
yeah. So the thing I would say with that is, you know, you're throwing away energy to voltage conversions in there, and you're inviting noise in that. I know people use them pretty regularly and say they don't have a whole lot of issues with noise, but that's you're doing a switching boost converter in there to go from probably a 3.7 volt single 1S cell up to 12 volts, and there's going to be some losses in there, so you're throwing away energy, and there's going to be some spurs in there too that don't get filtered out.
I don't know. I briefly looked into the PD standard, and I don't remember that it was like a traditional boost converter type situation. There's something more to it than that.
But it's going to be a switching boost converter. How else would you go from voltage to a constant 12 volts? It's just not.
I guess that's true.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, I have to look into it more, but yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know how else you do it. I have had very little noise with it though.
May I talk right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So during that, I saw that when I setting it to 15 volts and transmit 10 watts to somewhere else, I realized that my battery shows more than 60 watts to 70 or more than that. Yeah, so my battery is 140 watts max, so I didn't shocked about it, but what if I use a 65 watts battery or 100 watts battery for that? It might be explode, right?
Well, the device is still supposed to receive 12 to 13.8 volts. So you're still going to have it be the appropriate voltage for that device. So you just, as Adam was saying, it would still have to have some kind of conversion to get it to 13.8. It's like the 705, for instance.
Okay, I see.
You do not want to throw 50 volts or something along those lines at a 705.
Yeah, I don't want to see that kind of fireworks.
No, it probably won't do much fireworks. It'll probably just blow like a diode or something like that up. Or hopefully you've got a fuse connector on your 12 volt and it might blow the fuse connector before it blows the radio.
If I'm lucky.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I have a 705 completely taken apart, just for the problem of too many volts that got to it with a bad wall wart brick that I was using on it.
Oh yeah, that can those wall warts will fail on you, and it'll sometimes screw with the voltage out. You'll like have a short to something, and it'll give you too much power. I've seen expensive electronics go down to cheap dongles. Yep.
I found out what happened. It wasn't a cheap dongle. It was a firewall router power supply.
Mm-hmm.
But during all the lightning storms, something must have arced in the transformer coil.
Yep.
And it was dumping 60 to 120 volts straight through the coil.
Oh no!
120 volts?
That's of DC?
No, AC. It was the
okay.
AC side
Okay.
of the coil
Okay.
was arcing.
Okay.
DC side, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay,
yeah.
so it actually happens.
Yeah, it'll happen. So that's why there are protection circuits and other things you can get that will save your stuff. I have a device I need to do a video on that I got at Hamvention that the more I think about it, I'm like, heck yeah, why am I not running this on everything? I'll pull it up here if I remember and show you guys. But it's better than a fuse connector. It's an actual circuit designed to protect your devices. And you put it in line with all your power pole junk like I have on my desktop.
Okay. I saw also the Yaesu 705.
Crowbar. Yeah, which one? Say again?
And I also see the Yaesu 705, kind of this FTX-1F, as I remember.
Yeah, that's the new Yaesu that's coming out.
I saw it, the real one, with my bare eyes.
Oh, you were at Hamfair?
I was the main stage in Hamfair. I went to the Yota camp.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good.
Czech
good.
Republic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was amazing, but some of the staffs tell me that this is just you and me. This is a little secret that
just you, me, and 234 people watching right now. Yes.
Okay. The some of steps that only outfit is completed, so inside is nothing. So only screens are running out the computer. So
yeah. It's just a display model, is what you're saying.
Yeah, just a display model. So
sure.
we have to make it from zero until 2025 fall, I guess.
Yep.
So I was so surprised, but I'm very interested in buying that thing.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's going to be quite popular. Just knowing knowing Yaesu and what they're trying to pack into it feature-wise, it's going to be a real popular radio for people. But I don't know. I think people are going to be a little weird about some of the backpack attachment, this, that, and the other stuff that you got to do to juggle to make it all work.
Or prices are over 2,000, then it'll be fail. Yeah.
I would be, well, this is all speculation now. I'm speculating.
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised if it was over $2,000 at the base. The base radio can't be $2,000. That seems crazy to me if it was.
Yeah, I also agree about the handrail radio is 2,000, more than 2,000. It's ridiculous.
With the where the yen is right now against the U.S. dollar, if that thing showed up at $2,000 American, I think that would be crazy. Crazy, I say, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe with all the accessories, that would be okay.
Yeah, I'm saying
right.
the base radio. The base radio, I'm guessing that the base radio is going to be between, I think it's going to be $1,200. The mini bar, God, Jody knows exactly what. Yeah, I'm going to be setting up the mini bar here. Where is
You're talking about the MSRP.
Yeah,
Sorry, Josh, the MSRP.
I'm talking about the base price sans accessories.
I bet you they come in $200 cheaper than the Ecom.
I don't know why they would do that, though. I think they'd look at the price that the Ecom originally was sold at, and they're going to probably be around $1,200.
Good point.
Because again, if they look like they're coming in higher than the Ecom, then people are just going to make comments about it. So just come out at the debut price of the Ecom, which I think was actually $1,400. So I'm guessing anywhere between $1,200 and $1,400.
I really wonder how much is the accessories are. I mean, like an auto tuner or extra battery pack or cooler.
A tuner will be $200. Battery pack will be $120, and the fan will be $75. There you go. There's all of my guesses.
Highly reliable.
Oh yeah, I have zero information here, guys. I know nothing. But considering that the Ecom tuner was like what, $350 I think for the Ecom tuner, and then the big battery pack for the Ecom is $120. So I mean, you could just draw lines between those things and go like, yeah, I'm good at ham radio. The Price is Right. I'm pretty decent at it. So
that just sounds like Apple pricing, Josh. By the way, there's a fun question in Discord from Roy Harding.
Roy Harding. Let me
right above Jody's mini bar.
Right above the mini bar. All right, let's see. What he just says, around 1K to 1.5. Oh, Roy, I see.
Right
Stamping.
that.
Got it. Okay, hold on. Let me find it on the YouTube side. There we go. Hello from Stamping Ground. What's up? Okay, great videos. Learn a lot. Put in the chat that I got my tech last week. Looking forward to getting general and also looking forward to my first HF setup. Would like whole setup and stay under $3,000. So is this like a home station? Like you're going to set up the radio in a ham shack type of capacity? So if that's the case, look at one of the base 100-watt radios. So anything from the Yaesu 710, the FTDX10, the 7300. You could get a 7300 used. And then antenna-wise, oh my gosh, if you got the space for it, you could put up 2 antennas and have a switch and go between them. So you could have like a DX Commander for a sweet vertical. You could have a off-center fed dipole. You could do an end-fed. You could have a power supply, a switching power supply. You'd have to include that, right, for running. And you'd be, all of that would be, well, all of this could be yours if the price is under $3,000, which you'd easily be able to do. Assuming you have like a tree or something along those lines. Go ahead, comment.
I'm surprised you didn't go the IC705 and amp and tuner and
why? When have I ever done that, James? When have you ever heard me do that? Never. I've never been like that. You know
I
that.
know you haven't, but that's the way I think.
No way. That's going to be way more expensive. That's way, way, way more expensive than
They said
just
3,000.
You could like you could get a 710 on a hot discount. You could buy a 710 or the 705. You could have both of those radios for the price that it would be to amp up a 705 basically. You could just have that. Yeah,
he's also going to need a 2-meter 70 centimeter to go along with that. But that's easy.
You could fit that into 1,000 for sure. Anybody else want to add to that?
Don't
Thoughts?
forget your DX Commander.
I did say that. I already said that. I said you could get 2 antennas. Yeah, so I mean, I did a video talking about the $1,000 ham shack or the $2,000 100-watt radio ham shack, and that did include VHF UHF radios, but that's like 3 years old now.
I will say this from a current buying perspective. If you are buying new, 3,000 is you're just barely for VHF, UHF, and HF. You're just barely scratching the surface. As having helped someone do it recently in the last 2 months here, HF, just a basic ham setup for for VHF. HF through UHF, just a basic setup, antennas, radio, power supply, for home and car. He was looking at $4,000. So just to give the sticker shock there, 3,000's right there on that edge.
Okay, what did you spec out for $4,000? Let's walk through it.
Yaesu FT710, the field model, on sale at HRO.
Okay, so that's like the cheapest way to go. All right.
Right. Off-center fed dipole from HRO. Good for all bands.
How much was that?
Oh, geez. I'm going to have to go back in the price point. 160 something? I
wouldn't go any higher than that. Yeah, okay. So that's like $1,000. That's like you're at $1,000 right now. So you got 3,000 more. Okay.
Yeah,
you're saying you got $2,800 more to spend here.
FTM 500.
Which you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You could get like an analog. You could go.
Well, this is what we went through.
Okay,
so this is just brand new, out the door type stuff.
Okay, so you're at $1,700 right now. Okay.
Yeah, Astron 35 amp power supply.
That
was another
$300, $250.
$400.
I did not pay $300 for my Astron that I just got, or $400.
Look that up. I'm gonna have to look that
you're
one
at 20.
Now.
Let's say 2,100.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Comet tri-band for the house.
150,
220, and 440.
So I'll spot you 150, even though I think it's less than that. So 225.
Yeah.
Or 2250. Sorry.
And then a Larson NMO mag mount for the vehicle with PL259 on it, as well as Anderson power pole connectors, the kit, that's what, $40?
Yeah.
And Heil headset and foot pedal for HF.
Yeah, that's still under $3,000 though.
We came up to nearly $4,000 after taxes.
So you took $1,000 as a handling fee, right? This is your consultant fee?
No. See, he had to
lies,
cut, like,
Frank.
half of that
I
out.
see through you, Frank. I see what you were doing. Lies.
He had to cut half of that out. He has to go back for the rest of it at some point. But yeah,
Frank is man. You get top of the line service with Frank, but it's going to cost you. Okay, ham radio concierge here.
Only at HRO Sacramento too. So you have to come to HRO Sacramento for that.
I think that there are some frivolities that you added into that you might not need, like the Heil headset. I love the Heil headset. I don't think you need that. I think for most people in their home, they don't need that. You could use these Bear Dynamics and just use the stock mic for a long time before you need that. And I argue that. Not saying the 710 can't push good audio. I'm not saying that. It's just like if you're not going to be like hardcore contesting or maybe for field day you need it, but then just buy it when you get closer to June. Just use the stock stuff for a while until you decide that you actually want to sit with a headset on for hours on end. Because I don't.
He wanted a headset so that he doesn't bother the family when he's operating.
Yeah, but I mean, you could
Because
use.
unfortunately, the shack's inside the house and all that stuff.
So, go get some Bear Dynamic DT770s and throw them in. These are like going to be amazing audio quality for listening, and then just use the hand mic. I get it though. He's getting hooked up, but there's some other stuff on that list for sure, Frank. There has to be more on that list.
That was the bare minimums. And
No
we had
way.
to file stuff out.
Coax. What about coax?
We had to cut the home VHF UHF out.
You're gonna make me do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this together in the. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna go to HRO right now. We're gonna build this shack.
I forgot the handheld, the FT5D as well.
Oh, he also got a handheld. Okay, all right.
Handheld.
All right, we're going to HRO.
Don't forget
here.
the signal stick.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Oh,
right.
that's
Tim.
not it.
Signal stick. Yeah.
All right. We're going to ham radio outlet. Here we go. We're gonna build this shack right now. We're gonna get the the ID 50. We're gonna get the ID 52 Plus Anniversary Edition, right? Is that you told? You're gonna get the Yaesu FTDX 101 MP, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
$729. $700. I didn't know it was that expensive. $729.
You could do the 7100 or the 991A. I know it's a little old, but
No, hold on. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it just the way I want to see this. I'm not saying I'm never gonna call Frank a liar, but I want to see this. So this is we'll call it $1,000. Once you add taxes, it's gonna be more than that.
Just
okay.
at the cart and we'll find.
That's what we're gonna do. Okay. We're gonna do it. And then Astron's the next one.
Astron 35 amp linear.
Which one did you get? Oh, that's
the
right.
RS.
Which one did I have?
I'm going to tell you that the 35 is not enough to run both radios at the same time.
Oh, it can run both radios at the same time. You don't want to transmit both at the same time. Guaranteed.
Correct. I bought a 50 amp. I'm kind of like Don. I got a 50 amp at
hold on.
year and had to repair it. But
Hold on. Let's stick to this. Let's stick to this game. What is the model number? Do you remember?
The RS35 Alpha.
I think it was the last one on the bottom.
The 35. Okay, 259. Okay, what's next?
The FT5D.
Gotta get that handheld. On sale for $369. Sure. Then was it the FT500? FTM 500?
Yeah, the FTM 500.
Okay.
And then Larson NMO dual band for the vehicle mag mount.
Larson. Oh, where is it? Larson.
Does that come with the mount?
Which one? Am I spelling it wrong? Larson?
Yeah, should be LARSEN.
It must
maybe?
be EN.
SON.
No, it's EN. Which one was it? The mag mount?
The mag mount dual band. I don't remember the exact model, so go for mid-range. It was the 270. I know it was 2 meter 70 centimeter mag mount with PL259.
Okay. We're looking for mag mount. These.
Yeah, the through the glass.
It's not through the glass.
No.
Hey, I had one for years. Worked great.
Okay, I'm gonna spot you an NMO mag mount, and then you add another one to that, right? Is that the antenna on top? You got a dual bander to go on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll find one that's on the higher end even. Sure, $60.
There was a certain ham radio YouTuber that was talking up the those through the glass mounts.
Signal stock, signal stick for the FT5D.
Okay, so that's $30 at highest. So what am I missing here? Because we're at
the Comet tribander for the roof.
The Comet HF or the Comet
VHF 220 and UHF. Like the one you just got, I think.
Okay.
The super tall one.
Yeah, so 190. The GP98.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay, what else?
Off-center fed dipole for, I think it was 680.
Do you know which one you got?
I don't.
How much was it?
It wasn't Buckmaster. Was it Par Infeds or was it Palomar? I'm trying to.
Palomar has an 80 through 6 meter off-center fed for 199.
80 through 6. Yeah, that sounds right.
Fine, we'll do it. What next?
Okay, so we have the HF, we have the VHF, Heil headsets.
Oh, this is what's gonna blow the bank right now. We were doing good, kids. We were gonna make it. Which one?
HRT system software.
Which one was it?
The $100 headset.
Oh, it's not even the Pro one with the big cans. It's got some big cans.
It was the cheapest Pro on the list.
The cheapest Pro on the list. $134 on sale. Let's go with that. I'll even spot you $35. What's next?
A foot switch.
We're under $3,000.
Coax.
Coax. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, hold on. Let's get the Heil foot switch in there first.
On the off-center fed, do you have to have a tuner?
Hold on.
No. So the foot switch was for the FT710.
No, I understand, but it's the Heil foot switch, right?
Yeah.
When you search for foot, it doesn't come up. There it is. $35. Okay, and then which coax did you get?
ABR Industries 75 feet times 2 of LMR 400 Ultraflex.
Okay.
And by the way, on the Heil, you had to buy an adapter.
Okay, well, I think I've already given up enough money for freebies on this. 75 feet LMR, what type?
400 Ultraflex.
Okay, that was 600. So I'm going to try and save some money on this. If I do 400, will it come up? So if I do ABR 400.
How many feet?
75.
75 feet.
75 feet LMR 400 Ultraflex. How much was it? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
This is 189, which is reasonable. So we'll go with that. And what else?
There were 2 of them.
Times 2.
Wait,
2.
that is just
one for HF, one for VHF, UHF.
that 189 is it? Oh no, it is the.
That's
75
overkill
foot.
for HF. You don't need that for HF. At
The
75
400?
feet, you don't need that for HF.
For where he was placing things versus where the shack was going to be, he was going to need 75 feet of coax run.
All right, times 2. Now what else? The signal stick?
Yeah, signal stick.
Okay, so that's $20. So you're at $3,200, not $4,000.
I'm trying to figure out where they came, because when Jim read out the price tag at the HROs,
that's what I'm
just
saying.
over $4,000.
Somebody's getting a consulting fee in here.
Check out now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Did you put your discount code in?
Now, Josh, in all fairness, I have it all on video because it's going to be an upcoming video. For
Okay,
my
well,
channel.
we're gonna fact check the hell out of that thing when you post it.
That's with the California sales tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what made up the difference.
Right.
Oh, is that where
That's your Newsom tax.
Oh,
yeah, I bet you if you go to checkout and pick up at local store, it probably gives like
a tax on $800. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, it was.
Well, it is California.
Not that much tax. No, okay, all right, I got you. But
okay, so the Heil PSIC end of summer savings sale. So that's probably minus $15. Yeah, okay. So they're taking $15 off there and a couple other places.
Okay.
All
right. So let me take this in. Hold on. Let me take this in now. Since we have this, I would say that this is overkill, right? So going back to, you got a newcomer, right? New to ham radio. What do we actually need here? Okay. I think the Astron power supply is overkill, but I really like the Astron power supply I got. And I don't know what the hell I got, but it has power poles on the front and USB ports on the front. And it is freaking phenomenal. I love it. I don't know which model I have, but I would swap it out for that one. But it was about that price, so I'll leave that there. I think that the FT5 is fine. The FTM 500, unless you absolutely need that, it's off the list. So I'm cutting that out. I'm going back to 1 round of coax here. You don't need the Heil headset. You don't need the foot switch. I think
I'd put more money.
I think the off-center feds.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Don.
I was just going to say I'd put more money in the antenna.
I think that
you can take Pulse Larson off because that was for the.
Hold on.
So Pulse Larson.
You're jumping. Hold on. Let's respond to Don, and then we'll clean it up. So Don, I agree with you to a point. I think an offsetter fed is completely fine in this situation. I think.
I'd go with the DX Commander, but that's just.
Oh, okay, but that's actually more expensive than the Palomar. So okay, all right, okay.
Put more money into the antenna.
I got you. I see what you're saying now. So I'm not taking off the car though, except I guess I am. So yeah, I'm gonna remove the Larson.
And the Comet for that matter, because
No,
the FTM 500.
Well,
the
hold on.
FTM 500
Hold
was going to go back and
on!
forth between the house
Frank,
and the car.
Frank, hold on. I don't think you get rid. I was going to add a VHF UHF on.
Oh, okay.
Just hold on. Let me finish my thought. Frank, you can make your own videos on this topic. It sounds like you already have. Or are you working on it?
Working on it, yeah.
All right. So you got a Field. You got an Astron, which is a really good power supply. That's going to be a fantastic power supply for you. I think the handheld, we remove the handheld. You're either going to do the mobile or you're going to go handheld. Are you going to go mobile? Then go mobile. If you're going to go with the handheld, go with the handheld. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So we do need to add coax. I think in this case we can go, well, I don't know. Let me, what would be... What would be cheaper than LMR 400 in this case for HF?
Well, not 240.
Yeah, I use 218 a lot, which is their brand for 8X, I think, but it works fine for me.
Well,
and I've got runs up to 150 feet.
So ABR, let's see. RGA.
Well, you're looking that up.
Well,
Dave in the chat did point out a good thing. The coax, it did have the coax did have the ferrites built into it.
Oh well, okay, fancy.
So that's
coax.
like an extra $100 per.
No,
coax.
shut up, Frank. No, it's not. No, it's not.
I know it's like $27.
Okay. You almost got me on that one, Frank. So that's $2,200 if you had, and so this is you gotta and let's just point out the Palomar, you could swap this out for a DX Commander. So call it $200, $250. So that's a Yaesu 710 Field, the Astron power supply, a good Comet outdoor antenna. You could swap that to a dual bander if you don't need tri-band. We don't need tri-band in this case because we're going to go with the Ecom. ABR for the LMR 400 for VHF UHF, and then we're going down to the 75-foot of the cheaper stuff for HF. Yeah, there's the shack right there for under $3,000.
Yeah, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
So one other unnecessary thing there to me for a new ham is the whole 80 meters thing.
Oh, you know what, Don? Yeah, that's not... I don't think you're going to save a ton of money on that, particularly if you go with the DX Commander, right? You could just opt to not put up the 80. But sure. Honestly, this is a fantastic station right here. I would be proud to run this. Just go ahead and screenshot this with my face. And then send me pictures of you all buying this stuff. I'm spending your money. Here you go.
So, no, we did not get a tuner because I have a 710. I've had no issues with the built-in tuner, none whatsoever. And we do have a partial. Oh, a couple things we forgot on the list, but whatever. The Anderson power pole stuff.
Okay. Remember the question we got was for $3,000 and under. So this leaves $800 of playing around money hypothetically.
Yeah, by the way, for the Anderson stuff that comes in a kit.
Do you know how many Andersons you can get for $800?
You don't need any Andersons if you're not going to buy a PDU, and y'all did not put a PDU in there.
What are you talking about?
Power distribution unit.
Well, the Astron, the one that I'm recommending is the one that has the power poles on it.
Right, but that's only one, and you've got, 4 radios there?
No, it's got multiple
okay.
ports. It's got multiple
Okay.
ports.
Oh, I never do that.
Oh, I do.
Josh.
Yeah.
I have a spy in the chat. There's someone in the chat who was there while this person. Yes, there's someone in chat that was there while we were doing this. I forgot about the BioEnno LifePo 4 20 amp hour battery and
For what?
For portable operation for Soda and Soda.
For the field.
Yeah, because this is going to be mixed field home.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead and post your video covering all this. You post your video covering all this, but let me stick to my
months out.
Hold on. God damn it, you guys. You're talking over each other. Treat it like a repeater. All this came from the question from the Discord of somebody asking if you had $3,000 to spend. Then we went off on this tangent with Frank. We're coming back now to the question from the Discord. If you have $3,000, what would you spend? This is a fantastic starting position. There you go for $3,000.
100% agree, even after all that.
So what'd you say, Frank? I didn't get the beginning of that.
I 100% agree, even after all of that.
Good. Yeah. No. Okay. So if you're trying to do a mobile setup, a ham shack setup, and a portable POTA setup, yeah, easily you could go over $4,000. But that's not what the question was in the Discord. Okay. There we go. We definitely deep dived the hell out of that one. So thank you everybody for indulging me.
That was a good exercise, though, Josh.
Yeah, we should do that all the time, where we just go on to the. You know what would be kind of fun? Ooh, hold on. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna go ahead and make a note about that. I'm gonna make a video on that one.
I know what would be fun, Josh.
What's that?
You buy all that stuff, and then you do a giveaway next week.
Look at this! Look at this man. I do. Okay,
Right.
I will tell you guys. I am planning to do some giveaways as we get closer to the end of the year. I have a Kenwood D75 I'm going to give away. I have some PowerFilm solar stuff that I'm going to give away. I have one of the new mountain toppers. At least I ordered it. I ordered 2, and I'm going to give one of them away. The brand new ones that sold out in 5 minutes. I bought 2. I'm going to give one of them away. And probably something else. I'm going to try to score some other stuff. Now, keep in mind, to that point, the radios are all out of pocket. PowerFilm Solar is very generous with us, and as long as we give it away, and I'm just not hiding in the backyard wearing my solar panels like blankets in California, they said you got to give them away, and I went, all right, fine. They're incredibly generous, and they've done numerous giveaways with us, so I'm thankful of that. But I'm gonna get a couple other radios, and we're gonna build up to some giveaways at the end of the year. No. Dude, EP didn't even know the new mountain topper went. Yeah, the new mountain topper went out in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, gone. So sorry, somebody was saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're missing my point. That list that you made up, you're supposed to buy it and give that away.
Well, Teddy, you're so good at spending my money.
Hey, my kids did it with me for years.
Yeah, They were your kids.
Yeah, your kids. You guys aren't my kids. Gray Man found it. Yes, it's the SS50M. This is a killer power supply. I'm really, really liking it. This one right here. 280. It's got USB ports in the front. It's got power poles in the front, and the back side of it has banana plugs and something else too. Great power supply with the readout. Very nice.
It's a switcher.
Sure.
Mine are linear.
Doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter anymore.
Nobody uses linears anymore, Don.
Doesn't matter, Don.
It does when you have a zero noise floor.
Okay, when you were back at your other place, high on your linear horse with an S9 noise floor, you can come right off of that. But okay, if you want to come from that mountain at the zero noise floor point, okay, fair.
Yeah, I paid $75 and $95 for the Astrons I have.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So,
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that all week.
and I'm with Dawn on the whole linear. Absolutely.
Well, that's how you get to $4,000, right, Frank?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I buy PDUs and I run PDUs on those with fuses in them.
Sure. Okay, we are 11 minutes out from NOAA 15. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be the same kind of image that we saw in the last time, which I did pull up and then I closed it. So let me pull that back up so you guys can see it. And then I'm going to go say hi to my YouTube friends right now because I think people are hanging out and we want to make sure we get everyone engaged. So hold on. Here's the lovely image that we got from. Oh yeah, she's not good. But there is some weather in there. You can see a little cloud pattern on the left here. So she's having some problems there. I heard that it's only the lower frequencies that NOAA 15 is not working, but the higher frequencies is working fine. So there you go. All right.
Hey Josh, I got a question for you.
All right, I'm going to take this question, and then we're going to say hi to our YouTube friends, and then we'll come back to questions, and we'll do this satellite pass. So go for it.
Have you heard anything good about the Radiati Delta Bravo 25 Delta?
Delta Bravo 25 Delta. What is that?
It's a DMR analog radio that just came out last year.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, no, I did a review of that guy. I think so. Yeah, this guy, this little one. This little cute guy?
Yeah, I literally just found it on Amazon.
So
Yes, that.
if you go back far enough on my channel, I did a review of, if it's not this radio, it's a previous model of it, where I installed that into my child's power wheel. and I drove around in the front yard.
That's hilarious.
I hooked it up to the battery system of my kid's Power Wheel, and then I took one of my wife's cookie sheets, and I put it underneath the plastic hood and slapped the mag mount on top of it, and I drove around with that on the top.
Josh, that was 3 years ago you did that.
Yeah, oh, we got a Twitch guy. Carl in Arkansas. Relax, dude. Relax.
It's okay, I can fix it by doing this.
You guys there? You hear me?
Yeah, watching you do everything live on the sausage making.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'm going to go find this guy right now.
My mind just blew up, but I'm fine.
And that DB25D video was 3 years ago. I just dropped the link in the chat.
I'll check it out after this.
Okay. All right, let's say hi to our YouTube friends. So hold on, let me pull that up. First up is Bill. How's it going, Bill? Oh, no Bill?
I see him there. Maybe he fell asleep.
Where's our Bills at? Okay. Next. Going to next. Rob, hey, Digital Rancher. You didn't speak up much during this whole satellite thing. What's going on?
My apologies, Josh. I fell back on the list. Rob's left. So
everybody's gone. Dawn is next. What's going on, Dawn?
And by the way, I can tell you what Rob did today too, and Jason. But
they were at the mesh place.
Well, no, I mean in the beginning they went to they were at Belton, so I saw them at Belton because that's what I did. I went to the Belton Ham Fest, and I saw Jason and Mike and Rob there, and they were like you said, they left a few minutes later and headed out to the Meshtastic thing. I did not go because that's another 2 hours in the wrong direction from my house, and so I chose not to do it. And they are. All of them, of course, are making videos, so y'all should be seeing videos from them next week. I did not do anything. I just like that this week. I just I bought some coax from the ABR guys, and I got a couple of based on, and I don't think Mike's in the chat, G0RFD, but I bought some pulleys from the Mastrant guy to do what Mike had suggested on getting that doublet up. So that's pretty much what I did today. And I'm still waiting on the shed. Your next videos from me will be probably when I get the shed. And
cool.
we do that. Now I might put up something where I'm putting out the doublet, but I haven't decided yet that I've got enough oomph to get something up in the tree that high. I still may try the drone thing, but if I do that, I'm not going to video it because I don't have a 107A. And I don't know, can you, on the 107 thing, you can't put videos out from the drone, but can you video the drone doing something? Anyway,
you can't make money off of it. You can post it to YouTube all you want. They just can't be monetized videos.
Oh, I'm not monetized anyway.
Yeah, so as long as you're not making money off of it, implying that it's a business, then you can use it.
I thought that just the fact that YouTube was making money off of it by pushing ads on your videos.
You can go look into that, but I would be shocked if they would come after you if YouTube was making money off of it. Why would they come after the little guy with Google making money off of something? That'd be crazy. I would go. I won't tell you what I would do, but there would be a problem. I would have a big problem.
Well, YouTube's not going to come after me. It's the FAA I would be concerned about. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, so as long as it's recreational, which you'd be making a video that's not for profit, that's totally recreational from my point of view.
Well, and my question is not that I'm taking video off the drone, so now I'm not showing anything from the drone. I'm just taking a picture of the drone.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I don't get the drone. I've only flown it a couple of times, and I'm still not real good with it.
It's fun. It's drone fun.
Yeah, they're
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
And I actually bought like 3 extra batteries for it.
So did you get the DJI Mini?
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called. The Mini Pro 3.
That has the little battery bank thing, the tray of batteries that you can charge all at once.
Oh yeah.
Well, I bought that. I bought that separately, but
so
yeah.
Good. I love that thing.
Yeah, and then I bought a carrying case for it. So.
Oh, that comes if you buy the creator thing. It's all.
Well, I didn't get the creator thing.
You might have saved more money in the long run.
Well, I got it on Prime Day, and they didn't have that kit on sale.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, the kit is where it's at because you get a lot of tie-ins with the creator bundle.
Yeah.
It's awesome. The controller with the screen on it is so nice. Coming from the old DJI Phantom 4, where you had that big bulbous thing and you had to slap an iPad on the top of it to be able to fly it around, was nonsense.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
but I got my phone on it, and it seems to work okay.
The screen with the controller with the screen on it is so nice. But yeah, that's the Fly More bundle. Thank you, whoever said that. So yeah.
Oh yeah. And that one was not on sale for sure on Prime Day. It was just the Mini Pro or the Mini whatever, and so I got it, and then after that I've gotten, and it came with the controller. The one I got came with the other controller, and then I got since then I bought the 3-pack or the battery charger with 2 extra batteries. So now I can charge all 3 batteries at once, and then and then I got a carrying case for it.
All right, well that's awesome. I'm gonna go back to Bill actually because he's
ahead.
back. Bill's back. Bill, I gotta refresh my chalice here, so I'm gonna leave you in the capable hands of Frank while I go do that. So, welcome, and I'm glad you're back, and feel free to catch us up on what's going on.
Howdy. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. I will be right back.
Outstanding. Thanks for the shout out. Sorry I almost missed my chance at fame and fortune here. Appreciate the chance. Hey folks, name's Bill. Just hanging around here at the house today, working on some GPS and some. Basically, there's a GPS unit that will give a 10 megahertz reference signal to your transverters and your radio, if you so choose. And that's what I'm up to. So nothing much else going on. I've got a couple of videos I got to do, but that's about it.
Very cool. Yeah, Bill, thanks for messaging me. I was about to message you and I saw your notification went, oh, okay. So there you go. Glad we got you in there and worked all out.
Appreciate you, Frank.
I do what I can. And since I know the list, I'm next on the list unless Don has something more he wants to say.
No, I'm good, Frank.
All right. So I'm gonna delay tactic here a little bit because I do have a question for Josh once he's back. I'm KG6NLW and drop my link there. I'm Ham Radio Wilderness with Frank. I am drumroll. I do have a video coming out this Tuesday. It's going to be quite interesting, and we'll see what happens with that. It's taken me 3 months to edit one video, so it's been a bit of a process lately, and we'll get to it. But it's going to be more Motorola video this time around, and that's about it from me. Josh, are you back yet, or do I have to hold on some more?
I'm back.
Okay, good. So I have a question.
Well, we're still working through the YouTube list, so is the question in addition to that, or?
Yeah, it's from me as a YouTuber to you as a YouTuber.
Okay, well, hold on. I need a can, and then I will be back, and then it's your turn anyway. Did you already take your turn?
Yeah, I was just finishing up.
Hold on.
Okay, and Jody, I'll answer your question here. You're still waiting for video update on the Repeater Wars. That may or may not come. We'll see what happens on that one. That's all I can say on that.
That'd be awesome, Frank.
I know, but with the heat that I got after that particular live stream I did, that was yeah, that was interesting. All right, Josh, you're back?
I'm back. What's up?
All right, so I told him to watch, so we'll see if hopefully he's watching. The other day, by the way, thanks for the contact on 20 meters the other day.
Oh, yeah,
With how close we are, that is unheard of.
Well, you were so loud. You were so loud, and then you dropped off immediately after we completed the contact. It was crazy.
Did you hear the audio? Did you hear the audio file I sent you?
No, not yet. No, I haven't.
Oh, you were equally as loud, and you dropped off as well. You know, you went from 5.9 plus to like 4.1, and then just disappeared.
This magic moment. Yeah,
right.
It was just a moment in time. Yep.
And you were one of the, I think you're number 7 out of 19 of the last 19 contacts that I needed for a kilo at that park. So
oh, nice. Excellent.
You were in the upper 900s there. My question to you, Josh.
Yes.
Did you, I told him it counted. I listened to the audio. You said 5.9 for the both of us. Did you log Sean as a contact? I know I told him to log you, but
I don't need to.
The contact?
I don't need to. You're the activator.
No. Okay. What I'm saying, what I'm trying to ask is, did you consider it a full contact for your personal log?
I did not put it in my personal log.
Okay,
but
you still considered it a contact? Yes. Was it a contact for you? Yes or no?
Yes, but if he QSLs me, then I'm not going to have the other side of the info. So if you send me a DM and I'll add it to my log, because no, we did make the contact. I'll throw it in there.
Okay, because he was gonna not log you on the POTA side because we fell off, and even though you gave us a 5.9 for both of us.
No, you don't need. Well, I'll let Mike. If Mike's here, I'll let Mike take this. I know he's champing at the bit. Oh, damn it! So no.
All central guys left except for Bill.
You don't need even that. The contact for POTA is really simple. We exchanged call signs. It was an acknowledged contact. I don't even know that you have to add the signal report. You don't really need anything else in that.
Yeah. Okay. That's how I live with my POTA. But as he's new. He's the one that I've been Elmering, and as I said on the radio the other day, my trainee.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but yeah. So I just, and he watches the after chats and everything, and he's watching right now, I hope. So I figured I'd ask you and see what you thought, and if he has to edit his log, he has to edit his log. But you say it's good, so he's good.
So you don't want to run afoul of the POTA police, but go ahead, Don.
Well, I was just going to say trainee, Frank, trains, get it?
Yes. All right, thank you, Josh. And yeah, I have a video coming out Tuesday. That's about the end of it. Tim.
Oh, Gray Man POTA.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey guys, how you doing? Tim, Gray Man POTA, amateur radio call sign, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot. I feel like I was just walking into an intro of a video there, but yeah, just things are moving along. Shack building, ham shack, Cato cabin, whatever you want to call it, is pretty much done. They've just got a few things, and hopefully in the next day or two I'll be able to start moving stuff out there and actually getting it set up. So Josh, when I was looking for that power supply, I stumbled across some rack-mounted Astron 19-inch telco rack-mounted power supply. So now I'm chasing that rabbit. So
yeah. No.
But yeah, just I'll be having some videos coming out here as I start laying out the new ham shack here soon.
Very nice.
Yeah. Can I ask Tim a question real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tim, when you're done with that shack, can you put together one of those price lists like we did a few minutes ago?
At the cost of the building, or just
the whole damn thing?
I don't know if my wife wants me to disclose that.
Including your radios and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and yeah, Jody, I did put two 240-volt circuits out there. So they are good to go.
I am proud of you, sir.
Tim, I prefer a medium mattress because I'll be moving in.
Yeah. So, Tim, there's a K0 SSD that's on here from Montana. He's like, you never know. Last thing you want to do is have to unplug one amp to plug another one in. So I went ahead and put two in.
Right on. We are in the middle of the pass, or we're almost to the middle point of the pass for NOAA 15. Again, we're just getting that very broken up signal, I'm assuming because of the problems that it's having, but it is putting something out, so I don't know if anybody's still tracking this. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna check in here real fast. I'm gonna see what the next pass we got coming up is. Hold on. So we got another Meteor pass shortly after that, and then we got a whole bunch of passes. I don't know if let's see, what time is it? 8, 9, so we're going to get one more, and then we get like 3 in the course of an hour. So that's, if you guys get this set up, you got a good 6 passes potentially between now and the next 5 hours, which is pretty good. 4 hours. That's pretty awesome. So if you get Sat Dump going, you could be playing some fun times. Or set it up and go to bed, and it'll auto-do it for you, right? All right. Who's next?
Real quick, Josh. Real quick. I just thought about something. It just came to mind. I have to brain dump. But I heard somebody saying they'd be bringing a mattress or something like that to stay. How about a destination? Instead of doing these remote ham radio things, how about a destination ham shack? Like a you go to it. You get the radios, the whole the gear. You got the sleeping. I've got the mini bar and not the power one, but the one with the adult beverages in it. It's got its own sleeping arrangements and showering.
It's the Ham Radio Crash Course camping trip that we do every year. We got everything, man.
Yeah, Connor Black does that. Connor Black does that. He goes out. I mean, have you heard him talk about going on those trips where they end up at literally a ham shack, like in the Caribbean or whatever?
Yeah.
So it is done. It is definitely done.
Yeah, years and years ago.
Costa Rica.
Years
he
ago
was
now.
Out on an island.
before COVID, we did a whole live stream where we just went through all of the island locations that you could visit that are ham radio set up, meaning they already have a ham shack in place. You get to this island or this remote location, and the ham shack's already set up for you. It's kind of like an Airbnb for ham radio.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, they exist. They're real. That's legit.
But yeah, Tim, if you were to come to mine, when I get mine set up, I'm just around the corner from maybe 3-4 miles from a POTA spot.
Oh, there we go.
So what I'm hearing, Dawn, is yours is next ham shack Airbnb?
Honestly, I'm out here by myself. If you guys ever want to come by, I really, it's just me, so feel free.
Dawn in the zero noise floor.
All right, I'm trying to reply to John.
All of you live in US, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of you live in US, right?
Pretty much everybody except for VE. Jody. Jody's in Canada.
I see.
Or in Montana, I call it.
Oh, John is also away from keyboard now. He got removed from the Afterchat, so he needs to go back into the livestream /Afterchat. That could be part of his problem. John, you're in the wrong chat. Click on the Afterchat. Oh, Nate. Oh, Nate comes out with the... What? Is that... Dude, check this out, guys. Hold on. Let me show this off. Look at this. This is for the We4DX Pacific trip, it looks like. That's awesome.
Yeah, that looks like a converted ambulance, but I could be wrong.
It definitely does. And it's like a high wheelbase, so it's like a mountain rescue ambulance too. That's super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Is that an ATOS on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Going down the list. Next. Oh, Tim, are you good? Covered you?
I am great, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, next is Adam. He's been hanging out. Adam's been busy as all get out, I imagine. I can just assume that without even talking to him. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. This is my month of, another month of crazy SAR training. We just started our Joint Sheriff and San Diego Mountain Rescue Technical Rope Rescue course today, and it goes this weekend and next weekend, and then 2 evenings this week. Then the following weekend after that is our new recruit tryout training, where we go break in all the new recruits and abuse them in the mountains for a long weekend. So yeah, 3 full weekends in a row. SAR training doesn't leave much time for radio, but I did recently post a cool new Elecraft KX2, KX3 3D print STL for a nice knob for those. So if you've got one of those rigs, check out the link in the live stream after chat, because it works quite well. It's the same size as the standard knob, but it's got the extra little spinny pocket for your finger for quick tuning, and it works pretty well.
I have one of those that I printed years ago, and it's kind of off-center with the spinny pocket, and so I will print that and I'll let you know, because that looks good. I like that it's almost identical to the stock one.
Yep. Yeah, it's the same diameter, same height. It just has a little bit better shape to it.
Adam, do you have any way of weighting those so that they have some weight to them?
It'd be pretty easy to. I mean, the way I would probably do it would be to make a few pockets. I would want it. I wouldn't want it off balance. You know, I wouldn't want one side heavier than the other. So on this one, what I would do is kind of make 3 pockets around the sides and put just fishing sinkers in there. So I'd size it for fishing sinkers, and I'd pause printing partway through and insert those in.
Yeah, I was wondering what you might use for weights. Well, okay, thanks.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it would work pretty well.
That is cool. Right on. All right. And you did end up picking up one of those mountain toppers too, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I couldn't resist. And I, a couple days before those went live, I found an unbuilt kit for an ATS-4B. ATS-4B is another Steve Weber radio. It's about the size. Slightly bigger than an MTR 3B. It's a little bit longer, like wider.
That's the one that has the tuner,
and
right?
No tuner. That's the what is that one?
That's the
Can't
yellow
think of
one.
what that one is. Yeah. The ATS 4B V2 is a 5-band rig, and it does basically 80 through 15. So 80, 40, 30, 20, 17, 15. I think it is. I think that's 5 bands. Or no, you can do either 17 or 15. But yeah, 80, 40, 30, 20, and 15 is what I'll build it for, which is a pretty sweet set of bands.
That is cool. Yeah. I am glad that they went with this new 3-band, that they took out the 30 and they put 15 in. I think that's nice.
I think 15. Yeah, and you know, to me that's like the ideal mountain topper to me, because 15 is a consistent DX band, and the other sweet thing with 15 is that, you know, 40 meter end fed half wave, you got 40, 20, 15, no problem. So.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And 30 is kind of a weird one to throw in the middle there because you don't really pick up any harmonics on it, so it's not going to be useful. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what else is going to be on that screen. Because the only thing that the mountain topper doesn't have is the power meter, which would be nice, but it doesn't really matter. But I'm kind of curious what they do with it.
Or SWR meter. I doubt there's gonna be an SWR meter. I think they would have mentioned it if there was.
That's
However,
true.
you know, on one of mine, I pretty easily integrated the DK3IT SWR meter.
Yeah, the little light up bar you have on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put a photo in the chat here for people to see. But it'd be pretty easy for most people to do something similar there, without too much trouble. Yeah, you got to drill some holes in your brand new mountain topper, but hey, it's worth it.
Hold on. Yeah,
so,
John.
The picture I just posted there, the top one is my modded mountain topper with the SWR meter on the bottom left corner there.
Yeah, so years ago, Adam joined us on an Afterchat, and he was showing off his modified 3-bander, and it has the touch paddles on the side. It's got the little SWR. What's the circle thing there below where we're above the LNR? I don't remember what that is.
That's a speaker.
Oh, right. Wow, that's a small speaker, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I put a little, 2-watt amplifier in there and a speaker so that if headphones aren't plugged in, it powers up the speaker, and it's just loud enough to hear it if it's quiet out. I mean, if it's windy or noisy around you, it's not going to be effective, but I have used that when I forgot my earbuds one time.
That's cool. Let's see. Can I move John? How do I get him? Move to, there we go. All right, John's back in, I think. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I see him in here.
John, can you click your PTT button and try and talk? Can you hear us now? We're really working with you, John. We'll get you there, man. You got to go to settings and hit that set the PTT button. We use control. A lot of people use control. Some people use spacebar. All right, well, we'll come back to John.
I'm double up. I use Control and Alt.
Oh, look at you, fancy. That's how you can crouch jump into PTT.
That and you do copy and paste, and it gets confusing when you hit Control.
John, do you hear us in the chat? Since you got the chat sorted out, can you hear us right now? Can you hear us in Discord? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. All right, so the settings for Discord, are you on a computer or your phone? Computer or phone? Both. Okay, well, put down the phone for right now. Computer, lower left-hand corner is a little gear. It's next to your account, and it says user settings. And then in user settings, you got to go to voice and video on the left-hand side. It's about halfway down. And then you hit push to talk, and you got to click the thing to set a button, and hit control, left control or something like that. That's your PTT button. And while you're there, make sure you have your mic and speaker set correctly. There you go. That should be it. All right. Next on the list is Mark from Boondock Echo. How's it going?
Oh, it has been a week, let me tell you. We're still testing out new transcription stuff and debugging that, trying to get everything going. I got a video editor to cut down a bunch of stuff, so we should have regular video updates for quite a while, but mostly I'd say it's an advanced user manual. And just pushing forward, nothing too exciting, just another week of hard work.
Yeah, so I got a comment from somebody on YouTube, and they're asking me, it's like, has anybody actually received these? So, Mark, how many people did you end up shipping out Boondock Echoes to?
160?
160 people. And so they commented like, well, Josh is the only one who posts YouTube videos on it, and then the Boondock Echo channel. And like, why is that? And I'm like, I don't know. You'd have to ask Mark. But you have 150 of them out there right now of people using them. And what's been you've got updates. People are out there with their Boondock Echoes live. So how's that all been going?
People have been pretty quiet about it overall. I do ship them out to a variety of places. Like I sent some to North Carolina, but I don't do that for marketing purposes. I just do that to, hopefully it helps somebody.
Right.
But yeah, it's part of the commercialization of this project is so difficult because we're all still holding down full-time jobs.
Right.
And trying to do families and stuff. And the marketing communication thing is unfortunately the thing that's, that becomes it shouldn't be, but that's the part that ends up being pushed to the side, the lower priority. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think mostly that's just me being a bad CEO. So I'll have to work on that.
No, I don't think that was the point of it. But I didn't understand the comment. I was like, wait, I don't get it because they're out there. You got plenty of people out there, and it's the new version and everything. So, anyway, it was an interesting comment.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but I have sent some out to some YouTube people.
Okay, good.
Just one or two, not too many.
Yeah.
But I haven't asked them to do any videos yet. I want to wait until we get the next gen transcription out, and we're still working the bugs out of that. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll work on that. You should see some videos, but they're 2-minute how-tos on how to do this feature, what the buttons do, what the switch on the back's for. Nothing too exciting, but those will start populating the YouTube channel over the next month or two, and we'll try to create even more content to let people know that we still exist and we want more money.
Yes. So go check them out.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah,
is this the Boondock Echo?
Yeah, the Boondock Echo.
Right, the Boondock Echo, right? Not anything else but the Boondock Echo, correct?
No, that's a good question. Sometimes people hear Boondock Echo, but they're not really sure if it is the Boondock Echo. The one over at boondockecho.com that's available at crowdsupply/Boondock Technologies /Boondock Echo. That one, yes, that's the right one.
That's the right
the
one.
link I just dropped.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, and everybody, please say, Alexa, find me a Boondock Echo.
Yeah. That's right.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Who has a Boondock Echo that's in the voice chat right now, just out of curiosity? I saw Jody already has one. Anybody else in here?
I have one. I just haven't used it at all.
Oh, well, you're up next, Nate. So how's it going, man?
Why am I up?
You're a YouTuber.
Well, I haven't done anything on there. I was going to try to make something for the Washington Salmon Run.
Well, we called you out, so you're in now.
Yeah, my whole YouTube experience, I'm going to see Mike this week, and he's going to make fun of me for still not knowing how to edit videos at all.
Well, he's on a phone, so what can he really complain about? I'm just kidding. He's a good editor.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for the Pack Beach camp out this week.
Good for you, man.
Doing a power pole conversion on an 891 while listening to you guys.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Every year I say I'm jealous. It's just October hits and it's like the worst time of the year. Kids back in school, holiday season's coming down. I am potentially going somewhere this month though, maybe. And no, it's not Pack Beach. I can't square the full week to go do that. But yeah, I'm jealous. Make sure you post lots of videos about it.
Completely unedited because I don't know how yet.
Hey, if it works for Thomas Witherspoon, it can work for you, right?
True.
Yeah. Never let anyone make you feel bad about the way you make content. You're going to change because of things that you feel are something you want to do differently, or maybe you won't, and it doesn't matter either way. If people are watching you and you're having fun doing it, that's all that matters. You having fun doing it is the most important part. People watching you will come only if you have fun doing it. Because if you're not having fun doing it, people will know and they won't watch. Trust me. Trust me. I know this. All right. Okay, we got through everybody, and that's perfect timing because we got another pass, and this is actually going to be a good pass. This is a Meteor 2-3, so hopefully this is going to be the big one for the night here. Actually, it's not great. The second one will be better, I assume. Let's see. Let's take a look at our pass plan here. Yeah, so we got a Meteor, and then a NOAA 19, and then another Meteor, which the second Meteor, the second blue square there, is going to be probably more westernly, so it's going to be more over my head. So for everybody that's east of me right now, it's going to be a good pass for you. And that's right up against NOAA 18, so we might get a weird crossover. And then you're going to get a follow-up of 19 and then another 18. So they're usually one and then another, and then you'll get two within like about an hour and a half to 2 hour time span when you see these. So you can see just with these 5 satellites that we've put in the scheduler, you're going to get a bunch of weather images throughout the day, which is, I mean, in an off-grid situation, pretty handy, right? And you could get the Keplers over WinLink, over HF. So there you go. That's awesome. I don't know that you have the capability to ingest Keplers, though, with this. I think you have to use their downloady thing. But go ahead. Who's going to say something?
I actually have a question from the person I'm Elmering, and he wants it posted to the Afterchat. I think you told him to get into Discord at one point when he emailed you, but he hasn't done so yet.
Oh.
So the question is, how do hams help in a disaster? He understands the autonomy of a rig, but if disaster strikes locally and his neighbor asks me to contact someone, quote, back home, how do I get a call to a ham to relay the message without a known frequency and call sign? I'm just hoping someone discovers me. So basically, break down what they're doing in North Carolina right now.
Well, it's a combination of things, right? So I think you are talking about like an HF bridging check-in kind of thing.
I assume that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, so if you're on like the Hurricane WatchNet, right? So the Hurricane WatchNet will do those check-ins, and sometimes they'll use the traffic system, the radio traffic system, like the ARRL traffic system or any of those things to pass information between parties. That could take the form of a two-way contact over VHF into the disaster area, or literally boots on the ground. Somebody walks out to see is that person okay, and then can relay back up to somebody that can get it back to the Hurricane WatchNet to say, yes, I heard from so-and-so, they are okay, and then that can relay back to whichever station initially made that request. It's easier when you're out of the disaster area, right? Because then you can use cell phones, you can use email, you can use all the tools that you have communication-wise outside of that. But you still have to be known, I guess, in the radio system, if you will, so you can broker that through radio into the area where comms are down. Now, what's happening in North Carolina, at least from what I can put together from the hours I've spent now listening to that repeater and you know, reading some of the reports. By the way, if you didn't know this, if you're on the Discord right now, there's a Hurricane Helene chat, and there's updates that are coming out of that area that are getting posted there, like both for what people are looking for support, people, you know, actually looking for people as well, although we try not to do that on the chat. We like to keep that in the local space a little bit. But if you were in a disaster area, so what is that? If you've got a repeater working, boy, that makes things a lot easier, because the repeater is a party line. So if Asheville, for example, this repeater that a lot of people are listening to is in Asheville, and that repeater is taking calls from people, if you will, that are either connected to an EOC, which is an emergency coordinator, operations coordinator. Thank you. The emergency operations coordinator. Those are people with supplies and access to first responders, right? Or are tracking people that need help. And the comms of ham radio to a repeater is connecting to people that need help. So those people that are calling out and saying, hey, I need water over here because we have no drinkable water. Or I have an individual that the road is washed out and they are diabetic and they don't have power and their insulin is, they've only got a couple of days of insulin left. We need to get them out of there, or we need to get them insulin and a generator so that they can keep their house running. All of that coordination, that stuff you would do regardless of whatever, is facilitated via amateur radio instead of a phone or going door to door. So it's just removing a man on a horseback going door to door saying, hey, do you need help? Hey, do you need help? Hey, do you need help? Well, you're doing it over radio instead. So what do you need? Oh, I don't have food and I don't have water. Okay, this person needs food and water at this location. What do you need? Oh, I need insulin. I need refrigeration capability. My power's out. I have insulin. Okay, this person needs a generator, or we need to get them to the first responder location, the evac area. Bring in a high wheelbase 4-wheel drive and get them out, or airlift them, or blah, 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 blah. So it's a way of collecting information of who's affected in an emergency, and then being able to coordinate the first responders and where the supplies go when there is no comms. Because FirstNet is down too. FirstNet is the first responder cell phone system. That's not even effective, at least in the beginning. I think it's back up now in some areas, but not all areas. And I saw John pop up. John, are you actually on? Can you hear me? Can you talk? Can you hit the PTT?
I think I might have actually got this working.
Oh my God, John, you got it working, dude. How'd you get it going, bud?
Well, I'm obviously completely stupid.
No, sir. It fools the best of us, but we stuck with you and you made it. So how you doing?
No, I'm good. I thought it wanted to record.
Oh, we got to hold down that button when you talk.
My voice or something. Actually, just wanted to press a key on the keyboard.
Yep, that's it. PTT, like a radio.
Yeah, nowhere does it say that.
Well, that's what push to talk means. But yes.
Yeah,
that's the key binding.
I have a PTT on my keyboard. A PTT is like on the side of your mic.
You got it.
What do you want to press? Okay.
No,
yeah,
you got it.
I thought there was something odd going on. I thought, anyway, thank you very much for your help.
Yeah. So hang tight. We'll come back to you. But so that's the. Going back to the comment on the emergency stuff. So by the way, somebody dropped the link to that repeater. Let's pull it up and we'll see what's going on. It's a little late. They're probably already pretty quiet right now. But let's take a listen to it. If there's any activity, we'll hear it's out there. But the net ops are basically trying to monitor the traffic, right? So a good example, right? Here's a fantastic example. A couple of nights ago, I'm listening to the repeater in Asheville. And the net op is taking traffic. He would do a net. I think his net was primarily 7 p.m., their local time. And an EOC, an amateur radio volunteer, who's a part of the Emergency Communications Volunteer Group, which is attached to an EOC, called onto the repeater to provide net traffic. And the net op acknowledged the call sign and let them state their traffic. And their traffic was they are coordinating for amateur radio operators to go to different ad hoc airfields that they had set up, I think for helicopters. And they were asking people to report to these ad hoc airfields at 8 a.m. the next morning. And so they were saying, this is the person to call if you have cell phone access or phone access or email. But if not, these are the locations and the times that we need people to go to these whatever areas. And then people can go there with an amateur radio setup and they'll get frequency, information, possibly connection back to the repeater if they need to interconnect, or say they give you a simplex frequency. And the simplex frequency, you're just outside of the range that you can do simplex back to the EOC at that ad hoc airfield. Well, you could use a repeater to give you a wider footprint to be able to communicate independently between that EOC. Like we call it a bent pipe, right? So you're using some kind of comms facilitating thing like a repeater to increase your bandwidth and give you more capabilities, right?
Josh, have you heard anything about airborne repeaters or anything like that? Because we used to use those in Civil Air Patrol 20 years ago.
Airborne repeaters? I mean, you can throw a couple Baofangs on a drone. But
No, we used to have a real repeater set under the back seat of a Cessna 172, and had a repeater set up in an airplane.
We get that support sometimes from Civil Air Patrol, sometimes from others for search and rescue operations where there's no good radio coverage.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
The 172 has the long-range fuel tanks in it, and they can loiter for 6 hours at moderate power settings.
We got drones that can do that now.
We had that recently, Josh, for a search up on the highway between Idlewild and Palm Springs up there in what's the name of that town? I can't think of it, but Highway 247, I think it is.
Really? I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago.
All right, so let's take a little listen here. This is the N2GE repeater. We'll see if there's any activity going on. And the radio contact just kicked on for the satellite, but let's see. We'll pull this up.
And while we're doing that, Josh, I want to address the elephant in the room. Elon actually put extra Starlinks and redirected stuff and split the... he did a whole bunch of stuff. You and I agree with not liking him, but that is just wow.
Oh no, yeah, he's done a lot. No question. In multiple emergency situations, he's reached out as goodwill. By the way, it's good marketing too, but goodwill to help others. Yeah, they've dropped a ton of Starlinks off to people, tons, and I think they've given them a month free of internet to get them going. So yeah, no question. That's all super valuable. I think that's great. I believe there was multiple people that were airdropping the helicopter groups, that like individuals with helicopters. They were bringing in Starlinks and some other stuff as well too. So it's legit. That's good stuff.
I assume they're dropping the power to go with those because those don't run on 12-volt batteries.
I don't know. That I don't know, but I have seen images that people posted that they had literally cop cars that will have the Starlink in the on the dashboard, pointing out of the window.
Oh, yeah, the mini dish might.
The mini dish, yeah, it was a mini dish. All right, let's take a gander or a listen here.
Net control.
So the Discord, you guys can't hear.
Whiskey 8 Bravo Romeo Delta. Whiskey 8 Bravo Romeo Delta. Bill over here in Newmarket, Tennessee.
So this is.
Still got your pencil, Travis.
This is N2GE repeater.
Whiskey 8 Bravo Romeo Delta. Give me a name and a location. Yes, sir. The name is Bill, Bravo India Lima Lima. I am in Newmarket, Tennessee. Over. QSL Newmarket, Tennessee. Bill, you got a good signal coming into the Mount Mitchell repeater tonight. Well, thank you, sir. You guys are coming full scale here over in Newmarket. Sounding good. Been listening through all the nets and appreciate all you guys do for that, for all the emergency nets here. 7-3, have a great night. Thank you for letting me check in. W8DRD, we'll be listening.
I think this is just a traditional net. I don't know that it's an emergency net.
Roger that. I was also happy to hear that W4LLG Linda is doing okay. She calls the Oxcom net for Rutherford County. And I hadn't heard from her since this all started, but I got confirmation she's okay today. I can't think of anybody else that's regular in here that I haven't heard from except for Carl. Lynn, is there anybody else? Comment.
It's a wellness net, it sounds like.
Comment. What about Randy and Linda? KI4VLW. He was confirmed on W4 MOE.
This is another thing they do.
A couple of days ago, so I think he's okay.
See,
if anybody hears Vince back on here, let him know his cousin's okay.
Okay, this is a really good example. Boy, I'm so glad we did actually click into this because this is a really great example too. So when you are actually a part of a repeater community, and that's a real thing. Like if you become a regular or even an occasional with a call sign that gets known by people, then if there is a disaster, they'll start to ask, are you okay? Right? We haven't heard from so-and-so Josh KI6NAZ in a while. Where is he all right? Is him and his family okay? That's what people end up doing in a lot of situations like that, particularly on repeaters where they know each other. Like when your repeater turns into the Cheers on the air, that's an age term. I think I just aged myself. A lot of younger people probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Cheers was a show about a bar. It was a local hangout. Repeaters turn into a local hangout, right? That's example of this. And these wellness checks are kind of like, hey, I haven't heard from our buddy so-and-so in a while. Anybody know if he's okay? Yeah, I heard, Bill, blah, 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 call sign last week. He's all right, right? That's the example of this. This is a good example of that. A powerful thing, too.
We did that actually during that 3 days or that time in Texas when we were just like snowed in.
The snowstorm,
the repeaters were still up and we were checking in with each other on the repeaters.
Yeah, good example. Great example. All right, well we're into the low pass. This is going to be real low. We're not going to get much of this, but this satellite's going to come back around. And we might get another whack at it here, but okay.
Josh, I think with that reference of Cheers, you aged like all 214 of us.
I did, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You know what's really will mess you up? Look up the ages of the Cheers actors when they were playing their role in Cheers. Go look that up and prepare to be shocked. And look at a picture of them while you see their age.
Go ahead, Don.
Well, I was going to say, so Airplane and the podcast, Josh?
Airplane and the podcast.
Yeah.
That was last week.
That was, yes. But that was Barbara Billingsley.
I know. I got many people. I'm sure we're going to try and record the podcast tonight. I'm sure I'm going to get like 1,000 emails from people like, actually, that was Joan Cleaver, not blah, blah, blah. You're like, yes, I know. That haircut was pretty popular back then with those ladies.
Yeah, you're just the only thing to say about that is you're not that old. I am, but you're not.
Yeah.
And you probably, because you said something else about not liking some of the shows that like I Love Lucy and stuff like that. That was me too.
Yeah.
And so if you didn't watch Leave It to Beaver or had a sister that absolutely insisted on watching it, then you might not have known that.
So my dad loved Leave It to Beaver. He'd watch it even, he still probably watches it. And my sister absolutely loved I Love Lucy, which I don't have a problem with any of the shows. Like I'll watch them occasionally if they're on or whatever, although that rarely happens anymore. TVs aren't just like things that are blasting things at you. It's what you pick. But many times growing up I watched I Love Lucy. I don't really have a problem with it. It just didn't really get me. It didn't really hook me.
Yeah, I wasn't really big on any, and to this day, I just can't stand situation comedies. I just never have been able to. And part of it was the fact that she would just like watch those religiously, and I could not stand them. And like Gilligan's Island, all of those old shows, and it's like no.
Now that you mention it, other than like when I was a kid and like TGIF and all that stuff was on, I didn't really watch sitcoms. I don't really like any particular sitcom.
No, they're very formulaic, and I can't stand laugh tracks.
Oh, then you love The Big Bang Theory, of course.
Oh, I hated it. I mean, some of the science and some of the stuff they tried to do with it, I get it, but no.
Fun fact on Mayim Bialik had to teach what's his face Jim Parsons all of the science for each episode before they filmed it so that he could get it spot on, because he knew none of it, and Mayim was like, hey, this is right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, but I can't stand her either. To this day, oh God, no, thank you.
Well, hey, fun fact about The Big Bang Theory, I saw Bare Naked Ladies last night, so there you go.
Yeah, wow.
Part
of it I like.
Yeah, everybody loves Bare Naked
The song.
Ladies.
In fact, they've got several songs.
Yeah. I'm not a big Will Wheaton fan either, so I'm not.
Yep.
Wheaton.
No, I'm
not a fan either.
Well,
no.
To be honest, I'm not even a Next Generation fan.
Oh yeah, Next Generation's great. Anytime Riker has the beard, you know it's a good episode.
Man, I could not stand Q. Every time that.
I can see that.
That was like, oh, no. But there was very little of that I could get through. I tried to watch it, but Deep Space Nine is my jam.
Oh yeah, Deep Space Nine, particularly when they get to what was it, who do they go to war with? The
Dominion.
The Dominion War, yeah. The
Yeah,
Dominion.
yeah.
The later seasons are the best. Some of the best Star Trek ever. Now we're nerding out, so we must be finding the edges of the live stream.
Well,
quick
we
in the chat, hit us with questions.
Yeah, because we haven't talked movies in a long time.
I haven't seen a lot of movies other than the ones we watch for the after chats. I haven't seen anything new.
I have a tech question.
A tech question, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Ozbot. Anybody got any experience with Ozbot cameras for live streaming or Zoom or whatever?
What is an Ozbot?
Yeah, OBS. BOT.
Drop the link. Just drop the link, and I'll pull it up. Didn't watch the Orville either. Never really got an Orville. I do find it hilarious that the Orville started out as a comedy, and then they ended up like being more Star Trek than Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's what everybody tells me. And so now it's like, okay, crap, I got to go watch this.
Yeah,
I think I just found it for you.
All right, I'm pulling it up, I think. Oh, yeah. I think I've seen these guys. Nope, that's not it. There we go. So, no, I have no concept of these guys. Oh, yeah, I've seen the ones with the little gimbals. What are you trying to do with it? You're just curious if anybody's used them?
Yeah, if anybody's got any experience with it, I'm looking for something to have in the basically a live streaming computer that's there that can follow me around the room a little bit.
Oh, I gotcha. That don't know.
I thought you wanted one of those big SLRs with the on a gimbal.
That might be a little too much.
That's
that's why I don't pursue YouTube to that degree, because good God, those things are expensive.
This is a mirrorless. I'm on a mirrorless camera, which should be I can get the focus is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back real fast.
Well, yeah, you and Jason and Tio, I'm not sure how he does it, but yeah, y'all have really good video quality. Jim does too, and so does Ape. But I think y'all have way more money into it than I would ever put into it.
Oh, sure, but I've been doing this for over 10 years now. How many years?
Yeah, it's true.
2006. So do the math.
Absolutely, I don't fault you. I'm not trying to do that at all. I think for me that's more than I can put into it.
Sure, absolutely. Humble beginnings with the flip cam. That was my first legit YouTube camera, the flip cam. Remember those little USB cable?
Yeah, I still have 2 of them.
Hell yeah, those things are awesome, man. And the one I had the tripod mount in the bottom. When you could, I was like, I was cutting edge YouTube. I had my camera on a tripod. That didn't exist back then.
I have 2 of them. Both of them are HD, but one had AA batteries in it, and the other one was rechargeable. And the AA battery one got more use because you could carry batteries with you, and when it died, you put more batteries in it.
Yep.
So, Dawn, I just sent you a DM. That's what I use for both my out in the field filming and for my live streams. For those listening, it's the Sony ZV-E10. I absolutely love it.
That's what this is.
Yeah,
with the exchangeable lenses, right?
Yep.
That's the one you want.
The way I like to describe that, Frank, is that's radio money.
Yeah. Josh, I sent him the kit on Amazon that has everything in it because that's what I got. That's $798 on Amazon.
If you wanted a good, if you were like, I'm gonna do a YouTube thing and I'm willing to drop a bit of change on it, that DJI 3, the Osmo 3, the creator bundle with all the little attachments, that's really good. It's really good. and it's good enough that I would pick that up. I do pick it up before I use my phone. That is a fantastic camera. That's what TO's using a lot of these days, is that Osmo 3.
That's the camera I use too. I have a lot of respect for that little camera. I had the 2 and now the 3. And
I've had all of them.
Thinking about changing.
I've had
thinking about it.
I had the 1, the 2, and the 3, and every iteration I tell myself I don't need it. I've got whatever one I have, and I end up buying it because they pack in a lot of features, and it's like, holy crap, this is awesome. Yeah, the question is, it's the DJI Pocket, the Osmo Pocket 3.
Yeah, are you talking about the gimbal or the camera?
The camera.
Oh, okay, because you recommended a gimbal one time from DJI, and I have that, and boy, that thing works well.
I recommend the gimbal if you're going to do a live stream and use your phone camera. That's still entirely useful.
The Osmo Pocket 3 has a built-in gimbal. That's part of the Osmo.
But
I've seen that. Yeah,
but its streaming capability is not as good as the iPhone or Android phone. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm responding to chats.
Yeah, sorry. What I liked about the one that you'd recommended is there's an app that runs on my phone, and I clip my phone in there, and then the gimbal responds to what the phone. It just it works really, really well.
Yeah, the Bluetooth setup on that is fantastic, and the app really you can do some really good like some slow pans, some time lapses with it. You can do really good time lapses with it. The Osmo Pocket does a little bit better, but I will say if you want to get really serious with an Osmo Pocket, go get the ND filter kit. Get a couple of ND filters, probably a 16 and a 32 would be really, really good, and then that's about it. If you get the 16 and 32, you can go almost in full daylight. There might be times where you need a 64, but those 3, if you had a 64, a 32, and a 16, you'd be good. ND, for anybody that doesn't know what an ND filter, so let's see. All my cameras, so like overhead, all this stuff are all mirrorless cameras. And when you're doing video, your frame rate's locked, right? So this is 1080p, 30 frames per second. So the camera is shooting at 60 frames per second. You always just double the frame rate. The thing you control is shutter and ISO, and wherever possible, you want your shutter to be as open as possible to allow the most light in. That's what gives you the bokeh effect, like the blurring in the background. Like if you go look at my videos where it's just me and I'm in the shack's a bit blurry. You can do that on a ton of cameras. The problem is it requires a very wide aperture, but you also need lighting enough to light me. And then you need to balance it all so that you can kind of make it look right. Well, if you go outside, all of that goes to crap. And what the camera will do if it's auto is it'll throttle down the shutter, which gives you this very flat look where everything's kind of in focus at one time. And so what ND does is it allows you to keep the aperture of the lens very open to pull in all the light, but you put a who said it? Yeah, sunglasses for your camera. George said it. It's sunglasses for your camera that allows you to keep an open aperture to get that depth of field, but still maintain a lot of like low ISO because you don't want to add noise. ISO, when you start getting above like 400 ISO, it starts to add a bunch of noise and like all kinds of artifacts that you can see on the video. But if you can control all of that by adding the dark light filters in the front of it, then you get all that quality back. So it's
Josh.
Yeah, that's the other nerd thing I like to do. Go ahead.
Have you met our Lord and Savior manual mode?
Oh yeah, that's everything I do is pretty much in manual mode, unless the manual mode's good enough to adapt to the ND filters. Like if I slap ND filters on and it dials back the ISO and opens the aperture back up, then we're good.
Yeah, I do everything manual. I love it. People go, "Oh, you should shoot auto." I'm like, no, it doesn't work half the time.
I will shoot auto sometimes. If I have. Yeah.
The only time I shoot auto is in the shack where it's a controlled lighting environment. Outdoors, it's manual 24/7.
So I didn't want to get too in the weeds, but yeah, if you have a fast lens, that's how you get the depth of field. But fast lens often means like a 1-ish f-stop lens, which I'm already well into the weeds now. People are like, I don't know what he's talking about.
So you don't want to talk about 35 millimeter?
No, because I don't do any of that.
I did. I understand what you're talking about from having done 35 millimeter. But when we went to digital, the whole thing, my wife and I were like, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to reduce my quality of my image, then it damn well better do everything for me. And,
yeah,
it sounds like they're still not there yet.
Oh no, I mean they
How much of
are.
a disappointment was that?
They are, but you just can't get around aperture or ISO. Mm-hmm. Right, that's just the reality of it. If it can't control the light either way.
That's what we had to do with our 35 millimeter cameras, and there wasn't any automatic anything. So you were never running into that. It was all okay. And by the way, there was no instant feedback either. So you took the picture and you had to know this is what you need to do because I'm facing the sun, I'm doing this, I'm outdoors, whatever, and I want to do something quickly or I want to do something slowly. So yeah, there was all of that stuff, and I don't know, it was a lot more fun. But when I went digital and I had to give up all the quality, then it should do everything for me.
Don, that is why manual mode is so awesome. Because I grew up with 35 millimeter. That's how I first learned. I know how it causes my migraine, so that's why I don't do it anymore. I know how to develop my own film.
Oh yeah.
I did that in Boy Scouts. I got the Boy Scout merit badge for photography, and we developed film. Yeah, I remember that. Hell yeah. We did get a radio question, so I will try and take that. Let's see, Discord. Let's switch those. There you go. Ham Radio Crash Course, I'm stuck between the VX6R and the FT5DR for a rugged backpack HT. I need a good battery life with a good antenna and shortwave listening at night. Well, you said backpacking, and so if you are considering APRS, then it's the FT5 because the VX6 doesn't do APRS. But at the same time, the VX6 is tri-band, and the battery life is really good. The FT5, you will need to turn off GPS and APRS to pull out the most battery life possible. But they do make a battery pack for the FT5, Hams do, it's not Yaesu, that has USB-C, and it's a big old chunky boy. In fact, I think Ham Radio Tube, Mike, KDMRD, has a video talking about the big batteries that are available that you might want to look into, because that solves a lot of the problems is if you go to a USB-C battery.
And I've got my 3DR with one of those big batteries on it, and I can't remember the last time I charged it. It has been literally months.
Oh wow, see, that's great. Yeah.
And it's still, like, I turn it on and it's like, damn, it's still saying 7 volts. So I mean, it usually goes from 8 down to, I don't know, 6, 8 or something like that before it gives up, and it's only down to 7. So I don't know how long it'll stay at 7, but boy, it just lasts and lasts and lasts.
Yeah.
So 3DR battery. The cold weather performance is also incredibly good on the even the stock original OG FT3DR battery. I ran mine in 30 below up here in Alaska, and it was phenomenal.
I got to add to that because I've found that the least amount of features the handheld radio has, the better the battery life. So my Kenwood THF6, my VX3, which I have a VX3, I also have a VX2, a VX6, those radios, just being traditional, simple analog radios, very long battery life, really good battery life. And the cool thing about those is if you go back to what I was showing on the overhead earlier, if you get a battery bank, you can use these to charge those radios, these adapters. So you just plug the right adapter into the radio, and you use USB-C to your power delivery battery bank, and you're charging it. So while I love USB-C, it's not required on the older batteries so long as you have a decent battery bank with you, because that'll take care of it, pretty much all the way.
And I dropped a link to Mike's video about his 5D battery.
Yeah.
And one that I'm really surprised with how long it's lasting, because I've literally had it setting out in the car, and I came out there today. It's been out there for a couple of weeks, and I went out there today, and it's still working. And I drove 2.5 or literally 4 hours today, including a couple hours inside the Ham Fest. Come out, the thing is still working. It's still working. It is the VR76N. It has just lasted and lasted and lasted. And I think it's been a couple of weeks at least since I charged it.
I got a radio question.
Yeah, 1 second, Shadow. PhotoLuz12 asks, hey guys, how do I activate the push to talk? So you got to go into your user settings in the lower left-hand corner, go to voice and audio or something like video and audio, and then click on that and click push to talk, and you have to click the button to lock in a keybind. A lot of people use control. So Shadow, go ahead, man.
Yeah, where I'm going to be going, they're pretty much only using simplex, and they're having trouble getting down into the valleys. I'm going to be bringing one of my, I got a UV25X2 with a repeater box that I'm probably going to be posting up on one of the mountaintops so I can get down into the valley and still communicate back. Is there any legal problems with me doing that?
So hypothetically, yes, there are. But is it a crossband or is it full duplex? I'm assuming it's crossband repeater.
Yeah, it's crossband. It's pretty much the receiver's a UV5R and the transmitter's a 25X2.
So it's kind of a gray area. I did a bit of a deep dive on simplex repeaters. That's where you talk into it and it records and it retransmits what you said. And a lot of people hate them, but at the same time, there might not be other options that you can use. In your case, because it's crossband, so you're going to be transmitting on one band and it comes out the other, you're probably fine, but you're going to have to make damn sure you're not going to be on any frequency that is going to be in use or anything like that. That's the only problem I can see. And as Interstellar Starman said, it's an emergency, and if it's helping and it's working, then you're probably fine.
Hey guys. All right, yeah, because they got frequencies they're using. I'm pretty much going to set up as far out as I can reach because I'm going to the 25-watt radio is going to be on a Yagi.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to set up as far as I can reach, and that way when I go down into the valley, I can repeat up to my repeater and go out.
Yeah, that should work fine for you. I don't know what kind of access to comms you'll have, but if you need help or anything, obviously hit up the Discord to the best of your ability.
Yeah, I'm taking VHF, UHF, and I'm taking an HF rig with a 100-watt amp, and I'm going to be probably using my 40
We
dipole.
can, Photo. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. There's Photo. Hold on. We can hear you, but just wait until we get a moment. I'll bring you in. So go ahead, Shadow. Sorry, I missed some of that.
Yeah, I'm going to be bringing a 100-watt HF with a 40-meter dipole. I'm probably be running Invis, and I may bring my 6 to 160, depending on how much room I got to set up.
Okay. Are you set up for WinLink too?
I'm not. I mainly use JS8 call because it gets out better. I've never used WinLink, so I don't want to start trying it now.
Yeah. Okay. If you might want to think about it, but I know you're going pretty soon here, so just But right on, man. Keep us posted. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I'll be documenting everything, and I'm going to try to get some stories out from the locals to see what they've been seeing. I know there's been a lot of people running some roadblocks, and there's been some people pretending to be law enforcement and trying to snatch stuff. So I'm going to be recording the whole time.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't know, Shadow he's been posting in the Hurricane Helene chat we have on Discord, and he's already been out. What's the area that you've been to already?
I actually myself haven't been out. I've been doing intel work and trying to do organization. I've just got my truck back. I've been trying to get a drive shaft part fixed.
Oh, okay.
But I'm in communication with people that are there, so I'm just doing logistics right now.
But you are going out next week, you said.
Yeah, I'll be heading out. I'm working 312s this weekend, and I'm going to try to get some sleep Monday, and I'm going to head out Monday night.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, and I know that the wind link might not be it might be a road too far. I get that, but even if you have like a dummy load, that you just set up your radio tomorrow, and get it going on a laptop or whatever. A lot of people are using the wind link to get out. You know what I mean? They're just getting a local hop to get their emails out for status, for things they're requesting, anything like that. That might help, but JSA call will work too. If you've got the right people listening, which is, the S2 Underground guys, you're probably going to be able to connect with them, right?
Yeah, that's mainly who I'm going to be updating with. They got there's a couple members in here, and there's a couple members in a couple comms channels and stuff that they're going to be trying to update for me.
Good. All right. Well, keep us posted, man. And good luck out there, and stay safe. Obviously, don't put yourself in a situation that is not going to be. Are you going with anybody? You're not going by yourself, are you?
I might be meeting up with one other guy, but where I'm going to drop off supplies and try to hook up with people is well known. So I'm not going to be going out in the field by myself.
Okay.
I will add this to you, Shadow. If you ever need WinLink help, hit me up. I can definitely help you with it because I use it weekly.
All right. Well, I'll try downloading it and try to see what I can get set up when I get off.
Right on. All right. Let's go back. So I want to catch up with John and who is the other guy? Our new Photo. You got it working, Photo. So come in, Photo, and then we'll go back to John. Is John still here?
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. I apologize for everybody. I'm just brand new to this. I just wanted to, I guess, introduce myself. I've been following your YouTube videos and just barely got into GMSR and, of course, ham radios. I just got my GMSR license as of yesterday. So I'm brand new to everything, and I'm here to learn and all that. I'm also a photographer, and I'm an analog shooter, so 35 millimeter, 120, 8x10, 4x5, peel part, Polaroids. I do it all. I do it all in-house. So if you guys have any photography questions, I'm the guy.
Where are you buying film these days?
You should come to my house. I have a fridge full of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got a fridge bigger than your kitchen refrigerator full of film at this point.
Well, I had to because my wife said either you eat this film or you get another fridge to put all in there.
All your Kodak Chrome is in the. There's probably more money tied up in your refrigerators than there is everything else you got in the house.
That is correct. I do. I have a lot. I've been selling off some cameras because I'm not able to use all of them, but the film, it's kind of hard to sell. You have to. I'm trying to build a book, so trying to do some work is a little slow, and right now, today's times with things that are going on and all that, so it makes it really hard to kind of work with people right now.
Yeah, I hear you. The good news is the ham radio is a similar hobby to photography. You don't really sell your cameras, you just buy more, right? So you don't sell radios, you just buy more radios, and then everything just works itself out.
Yeah, and I wish you would have told me this before because now I'm like 3 radios in now.
Yeah, it'll get you.
It's just trying to learn the frequencies, what's the difference, and from what I've been gathering from your website and of course other, I'm learning a little, but it would be nice to, I guess, meet people that are more savvy. I can learn from them, and I'm not sure if you guys have a meetup or anything like that. That'd be awesome.
Well, we're doing it right now. You're in it, bud. But yeah, so every year I do a camp out. It's usually around April. And then I sometimes do a hike, which has been October and November, but we're not doing one this year, I don't think. And then we meet up at the Ham Fest. So every year we meet up at all the Ham Fest. So Hamcation, Hamvention, and Huntsville are the 3 big ones.
And winter field day and field day.
That's yeah. So depending on where you live, where are you located?
I'm in the city of Redlands.
Oh, you're a Cali boy. Okay. So if you were more central, a lot of those guys meet up for winter field day and for field day. Jason does some. He does some POTA events and stuff like that too. Out here, Redlands isn't far from where we're at, so there's some opportunities out there too for winter field day and regular field day. There's lots of different clubs and stuff like that you can get set up with.
Cool. And you also got me into the Mistastic as well, so I actually ended up getting one.
Yeah, I got a new one. I got to do a video on the new one. There's a new T deck.
So Josh, you want to know what I'm hearing here? Us California YouTubers, Adam Dennis, Chuck, you, me, we need to coordinate something for the West Coast guys, like what Jason does.
Yeah, I keep threatening to do some kind of events, something like that. But we'll see. Well, I mean, like just a meetup, but it's always tough if you do it for like one day. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna set up a buddy hex. It's like, damn, that's why camping is so good, because you go to the campsite, you're there for a week, and you set the antennas up, you have a great time, then you're out the door.
Oh, yeah. Here's half the fun. There's 3 of us up in NorCal and 4 or 5 of you down in SoCal. So, we meet in the middle, like Fresno or...
We're going to meet in Visalia. We're going to meet in Visalia.
Yeah, no, I'm not... No.
That's doable. I'm willing to travel, so I'm cool with that.
All right.
Yeah, the thing is, where you want to go is you want to go to an event where you have like hams that are sitting around radios, and you can get there and sit down and either run the radio yourself or watch somebody that does it. And winter field day set up for that. Now your camp stuff, from what I've seen on the videos, because I don't live near you, it seems like that would be appropriate there as well, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the camp out is the spot. Mm-hmm. We have a great time. Plus Leia cooks, which is just it's insane.
Yeah. I got one question for you, Josh. Is in order for me to listen to any local emergency channels, am I able to do it through the GMRS radio?
No. Generally, no. GMRS radios are pretty locked down frequency-wise. You would need to step up to a general coverage receiver or get a scanner. I don't know what Redlands is like. What county are you guys in?
San Bernardino.
Too bad Shane isn't here. Shane's been really busy recently. We haven't seen him in a little while, but Shane's our repeater or scanner guy. Orange County, there's some options. The problem is that so many of the first responders are going encrypted with everything. I don't know if San Bernardino is encrypted or not.
Josh, the backup Motorola geek that knows a lot is here, and
no, but you're too north. You don't know about the down south guys, do you?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know as intricate as Shane does, but I know enough. San Bernardino is 100% encrypted. Good luck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's considered DMR, right?
That's P25, and it's
most everything is out here.
Yeah, there's like a couple channels. What I find interesting, this is one of those that I absolutely find interesting. I'm going to tangent for about 30 seconds here. Chino, their police dispatch is encrypted. The SWAT channels are in the clear. Don't ask me why. Don't. Makes no sense to me.
So the problem that you find a lot with some of the first responders out here in California, particularly in the South, is that like your police frequencies, a lot of those will be encrypted, but then fire will be completely in the open. Ambulances will be in the open. Public service will be in the open. Some of them won't even be P25; they'll just be analog. But like it's kind of tough. You don't really have like a cohesive frequency plan, so it's just kind of like this loose jumble of frequencies that's just kind of all over the place. LAPD is all open. Yeah, I do have a lot of those in my scanner.
What would be the, I guess, most adequate scanner to get? That would be like not so expensive and not so cheap.
What's your budget? How much you going to spend, man?
The middle ground.
Nah, give me a dollar amount, man. We don't play the cheap. You got to tell us how much you want to spend.
I honestly don't know how much they go for, so I don't know what dollar amount would.
Oh, like so I have an SDS 200, which is probably the higher end of scanners. What is that, like $600 or higher now?
Yeah, the SDSs are 600, and okay, so you have two options: the SDS 200 or the Unication G series pagers. But you have to make sure you get the 800 megahertz one because San Bernardino is P25 phase. Well, they're getting towards phase 2, but they have phase 1 right now. So 800 megahertz. So you're looking at $400 to $700 depending upon where you shop. And the only stuff you'd be able to listen to is, and not a whole lot, is your fire department. Confire is still in the clear for the most part, but don't expect to listen to much else.
What about like a Motorola DTR 700?
Not the DTR 700. What you would want is an APX series radio. Unfortunately, the XTS will not work out there, Josh. I wish. You would want a APX radio. The APX 4000 would be a reasonable radio, but you're looking at a few $1,000s for that compared to a scanner.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, somebody also mentioned it in the shack, but the Quanchang UV K5, I use that or a Baofeng for most of the local stuff around here. The big thing is just know you're not going to get much off the rubber duck on the HT, so get a good antenna with a good wide receive range.
Yeah, the problem is that a lot of this stuff is P25.
All of San Bernardino is P25 except for CAL FIRE on, partial CAL FIRE on VHF, and then CHP on just below 6 meters for us.
But I want to listen to BNSF.
Well, that's VHF, and that's a different story. If you want to listen to Railroad, yeah, sure, you can get a Baofeng and be fine.
So, good question in the chat. What decodes P25? That's from Mark, actually. So he's also in the Discord, or maybe not. Maybe he's just in the chat. But what decodes P25? Lots of things decode P25. Actually,
yeah.
My Ecom R30. That thing is a freaking champ. It sounds amazing on P25. It almost sounds better than my Motorola's.
Well, I have one of those pagers that works really well on P25.
I still haven't made my video on the pagers yet. I don't know how to tackle it. It's like the best of things and simultaneously the worst of things.
Big Jim did a video or two on it.
Well,
Who did?
Jim is the one that, he convinced me to get it. And it worked perfectly up in Richardson.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's not a scanner. You got to know exactly what you're doing with it. It's not a scanner.
It was like dead simple to program. Like 2 steps and it was programmed with all the frequencies.
It is, but that's also its greatest drawback is that you don't have that much frequencies that you can work with. There's like the set that you can work in, and then that's it.
Well, you can't do the one I bought did not do VHF. But I didn't need to, because to get VHF, you had to go all the way. You had to pick up all the way down to downtown Dallas. But, so everything up near me was all VHF, and it just did everything. And with radio reference, and I still have a login to radio reference, but with radio reference, you just download the data and load it in the scanner, and you're done.
Kind of. It's more than that, but I don't know. I'm not going to get into it right now.
That's all I did.
I'm not going to get into it right now. But you don't have encrypted like P25 stuff. Like you don't have to dance all around.
Every time they tried to encrypt, we fought it.
Yeah.
The citizens would go in and say, no. And they did encrypt Richardson for a short period of time, and the only thing that's left encrypted that we agreed to was SWAT. That's it. Everything else is unencrypted.
So out here we have trunking systems. We have just pure analog frequencies. We have P25 in the clear, and we have P25 encrypted. And using the scanner to do all of those things and jump around, you end up like creating a bunch of the dial memory banks for certain things. Like you say, okay, like this is going to be my analog dial, or the first two are going to be analog, and then there's going to be a trunking system. And then and so you have to do this whole rigmarole to get it all like coordinated. You can just start throwing stuff into it and it works, but it's not. It doesn't feel right when you're using it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The weird thing was that, like, this is true of, like, the DFW Metroplex. Like, they have one trunking system that links all of the cities together, all the way from, like, Richardson, Plano, all the way over to, and y'all probably don't even know where I'm talking about, but
I know where you're at.
to north of Fort Worth. So, I mean, I could drive anywhere down there, and I was picking up. You know,
but that's like good P25 networks that allow you to do that. The problem is that when I go from Orange County to LA County, which I live on the border between LA County and Orange County, I have to have like 3 channels. Or actually 6 channels with 3 on LA County and 3 on Orange County, just to go between those locations, like in and out of the area, because it's like they're totally different systems and they don't interoperate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that I've moved down here where I'm at in the country, that thing's just useless. I mean, they don't do P25. They don't even do P25 down here.
They're on CB. They're just on CB. The good old boys on CB. They got a 10-4, buddy.
I do know they have a hex beam above the volunteer fire department.
Oh,
so
that's funny. All right.
Basically, what you guys are saying, California is a whole different country then.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It always has been.
It's
always has been.
Even when it was more conservative, it was still. California was massively conservative when I was growing up here. By the way, guys, just a reminder where we all came from, and it was still its own country.
And I have to say too that when I was listening to, when I started off scanning, and I was like, I want to hear the police and the fire. Well, the most interesting stuff that I heard was from the trash guys. Those guys know everything that's going on in the city.
Sure. All right.
So, Don, that's the problem out here is okay, there's one county, I'm not going to name it, but there's one county that even the trash guys are encrypted.
Oh, that's stupid.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No, the whole system, every last talk group is encrypted. The trash guys, the buses, the fire, the PD, everybody.
That sounds like
Actually,
SF.
That's a good strategy.
Is that SF?
You're very close.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy, emergency response wise. If you've got every department, every city ordinance on the exact same encrypted comm unit, if you need to, bump up your manpower numbers, you can start ripping shit out of other vehicles.
Some nerd was the guy who's like, we got a big nerd at the comm dude in that county for sure.
Somebody got a good city contract, is what that was.
Again, we fought the city on encrypting, and the citizens won because we don't have anything encrypted except SWAT. That was the only thing that they were allowed to encrypt.
All right, I got to hold on. I gotta put a pause on it because I still want to go back to John, who's been waiting patiently. I don't even know if John has a question or anything. We spent all that time getting him on audio. So, Photo, thank you for getting through it. John, how you doing? Did you have a question or anything?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I just want to maybe give a bit of background story to me. I've been listening to you for about 5 years or so.
Oh, right on.
It's the first time I've actually gone on your Discord and stuff. So just come and say hi, really.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I mean, 5 years. That's crazy. That's more than a lot of people watching me. So thank you for watching. That's awesome.
No. I mean, my background is I was into amateur radio back in the 80s when CB in the UK was everybody had an air on their roof, and I did my Morse code and stuff. I never did my license, stupidly, but I was only 12. Yeah, my dad he's got his amateur radio license. He's G0 IBJ. Yeah, so I'm just kind of getting back into this a little bit because I'm now. Do you want to hear what I want to say, or am I boring?
No, you're good. You have a question? That's what we try to do more than anything. If you need some help with something, yeah, go for it, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, I might have some questions, but basically, I decided to sell all my stuff and live a much simpler life and live in a van.
Down by the river?
Down by the river? Well, in my parents' driveway at the moment because it's not finished.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just want to get into like comms again and chat to people and stuff. So it's kind of why I'm here.
Okay. Well, I mean, a van is a fantastic platform to set up radios in. So you got a big ground plane on the top. You can do all kinds of stuff with it.
Yeah. You remember ham radio Nomad? I mean, that's how he did it. He was living.
The first thing I've done is put like a CB on my roof, which because I can use that in the UK. Obviously, I don't have a license at the moment for ham stuff. But I listen to you guys, and yeah, I'm just sort of sitting on the sidelines really, and I feel a lot of what you're talking about resonates a lot from the stuff I used to know, and I'm just trying to retrain my brain really.
Well, I mean, it comes in time. Even if you were doing something like this in the past, things have changed a ton, and you just need to do a bit of it and just get back into it. It'll come back to you. It's like riding a bike to a certain degree.
And
Martin Lynch near Heathrow Airport has a ton of used equipment on sale. I just watched the video today.
Oh yeah, I watch him every week.
There you go.
And by the way, we do have tonight, for whatever reason, Mike's not here, but Mike G0RFD is quite often in the chat. And so if you go into the Discord here and chat in the ham radio deal, there's a number of guys from the UK, Rob M0JEO, there's just a lot of UK hams, and the only reason I'm saying that is we may not know what's available as well as like somebody that's living over there.
Right on. Yep.
Yeah,
for sure.
I get that. I think like ham radio in the UK is not as prolific as it is in the States and stuff. I think people over here don't really use it much. I mean, going back to the 80s, I used to go around in my car and stuff, and there were masts and stuff in people's back gardens. You could see them. You could tell they're ham guys, but nowadays you just don't see it.
Keep in mind too, the United States is huge. It's huge, right? In comparison to all of Europe, right? It's huge. And while we have more hams, they're spread all over the place. And in some cases, they're pocketed up, like the East Coast has a ton, Southern California has a ton. And then there's kind of like sparse areas in the middle where there's pockets of them. But in the UK, you guys are really close to each other, and you can talk to other countries much easier than we can here in the States, because we're separated by two oceans, right? So it's different in its own ways, but it's not any better, I would argue. I think it's still appropriately popular in the UK as well.
Yeah, and what Bill just said a minute ago, MLNS, to me, they're one of the best ham stores I have ever seen, and I've never been there. But those guys, I mean, when they actually hire engineers to repair the radios and to go through and repair the stuff they have coming in so they can resell it, the used equipment, all of that, all of their used equipment's gone over by an engineer. I mean, it's just, I don't know of anybody here that does that.
Yeah,
Certainly
that's a level
not HRO. Yeah,
that's a level of service we don't have out here.
Yeah, and the other thing I would say, too, about the UK is that, well, and this is Europe in general, I mean, it is so easy for you to get on, even in some cases, VHF, UHF, and talk to France or Germany, or, I mean, there's so many other countries out there that we would love to talk to that are difficult for us, that are not so difficult for you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good amateurs out there. There's a lot of good YouTube channels out there from UK hams, DX Commander being one of them.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I think if you look in the right places, you'll find quite a few hams in the UK.
For sure.
Tech mines. Tech mines.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. There are hams here and stuff, but I mean, I'm going back to when I was messing around with radios and repairing like amplifiers and learning electronics when I was a kid. You know, when I was like 12, 14, I'd find something that was broken and I'd fix it. And I look at it now, I wouldn't have a clue now. I guess my brain's not as good as it used to be. But you know, it's the even on like sort of CB stuff here, it's people don't use it anymore. I think they use it more in Europe. Truckers use it, I suppose, but I don't know.
Right on.
So,
right on.
John, I just tagged you and linked you to Callum's YouTube channel. He's over there in the UK, and he has absolutely wonderful channel that I think will resonate with you quite well.
You know, John, I would say this. Since you're building out a van and you're doing the whole thing with that, I would aim to have like a good radio, not like the best radio or anything like that, but a good radio of like every service in the van. So like a good CB, a good GMRS or whatever you have that's equivalent to GMRS, a good amateur radio, possibly also AHF, so VHF, UHF, HF. You know, get some antennas on the roof of that thing. That's what I would do, and just have a nice little build out, like a shelf, you know, like almost like a cabinet that these radios are kind of like built into. That would be sweet to have that. That'd be a cool setup in a van.
Comment for John.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm sort of doing, really. I mean, I've got the CB hooked up because that's something I can use over here, and they used to charge like a £10 a year fee years ago, but they don't charge anymore. It's a open thing. It's just like we used to call like citizen band radio, so it's
right.
You used to have a license for it, but they dropped the license thing for that now over here. So that's an easy thing for me to like get used to talking to people, like strangers, if you like, on the radio. I've got a 2 meters radio which I can listen to, but obviously I'm not allowed to broadcast on because I've got my license. But my dad's got his full license. He doesn't really use it, but you know, it's handy to chat to him about stuff.
Yeah, right on. Very cool. Well, thanks for joining us. Hang out. We're gonna be just going nuts like we're doing because we're getting late anyway. I'm gonna wait for this pass to come to fruition and then complete, and I think I'm gonna wrap up my end of things. But somebody had a comment. Let's go to that comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, for John here, from also another John, I lived in a van for a number of years, and if you're going to start putting radios in it, buy yourself a little cheap SDR first and foremost, and be mindful as you're doing your van build out. A lot of the sort of van life electronics that people all recommend are the most like EMI devices known to man.
RFI.
A lot of RFI, yeah. Cheap controllers, a lot of the battery tenders, sorts like that. Just be mindful. A cheap SDR really can help hunt those things down. I only had 2 radios set up in mine when I was doing van life, but just, you know, word of the wise.
When you hit on that...
well, I've got... oh, sorry. No, sorry.
No, you're
Josh,
good. Go ahead. I was going to say, if you got that LED mood lighting, right? You get that red light going for the little mood effect. Yeah, all of a sudden you got like a ton of RFI in your van. But go ahead, John.
Like the interference and stuff. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I've got like a pretty cool setup. I've got a gaming setup. I don't play games, but I've got like my screens and stuff set up. It's kind of like a tech setup in the van. And I've got plenty of space on the roof for stuff. I've basically made a massive hole in the roof with a box on the roof so I can plug in whatever I want on the roof whenever I need to without making umpteen holes in the roof and getting leaks and stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. If you ever need help or anything, I did my build out all by hand in a driveway many years ago. If you ever need a hand, just hit me up, DM me. I'd be more than willing to throw 2 cents in to try to help you out any way that I can.
Well, send me a message because I only managed to get this thing working this evening.
Yeah.
Some massive problems with. It kept saying. It was like I thought it wanted a voice command, like it wanted a voice thing to register my voice.
Right, no.
But it just wanted me to press a button on the keyboard. I didn't get that. I'm obviously old school.
You're thinking too hard.
There, John.
You're thinking too hard about it. Well, John,
that was the problem. Yeah, I was thinking too hard. I was like,
that's
what
right.
am I doing wrong here?
Yeah.
Am I absolutely stupid? It was so obvious, but it didn't.
Well, you made it, and thanks for joining us. And we're just talking shenanigans pretty much at this point. We're waiting for that last pass, and I'm going to wrap things up. Go ahead, comment.
I just transitioned from a 706 Ecom 706 Mark IIG to a 7100 in my truck, and I hadn't been running the 706 all that long. I just got a good deal. When you get around, that basically covers everything in most ham radio hobby, just in one radio. Now, granted, you're going to want other things like a CB, but if you Mars mod it, you might even be able to swirl over and listen on CB. I wouldn't transmit it, but you could listen.
James, you're really low right now, much lower than normal, and you sound like you're a little watery. I don't know. Did you change mics or something?
I got a different headphone on. Sorry about that.
That's what it is. You don't sound like you normally sound. I was just curious.
But yeah, that's all I was going to say is 7100 is a good single radio if you're sitting in a van and you just want to swirl around on the Parts on the Air app or just twist the dial around. If you don't care about a waterfall, you can get one of those used for, I don't know, 600 pounds, 700 pounds. That'd be my guess.
I mean, because I can't transmit obviously because I haven't got my license, but as a cheap radio, I could listen in on like a good wide range of frequencies. What would you recommend?
The FDR that he was suggesting, just a dongle to plug into your computer, is the best thing for inexpensive. Josh, tell him what your thoughts on
it. Pretty much any of the SDRs that are available on. Well, do you want to do HF? You want to listen to HF frequencies?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so a British company, SDR Play. SDR Play is definitely the SDRs I'd look at. That's the one I would go to.
That's the one.
Are they relatively cheap? Are you talking $20, $50, $100? What sort of price range are they?
SDR Play for the base model is going to be $130 about. I would probably go with the dual if you can, or the DX, but even if you get the base one just with the single antenna input, that's still going to be fantastic. So yeah, it's about $130, and that'll get you like all of the high frequency and the VHF, UHF, like and the higher stuff too.
What would you recommend on like? Because I mean, the purchase of a radio is like that's quite, I guess, relatively easy. But as what antenna on the roof for that sort of thing?
So for a van working HF, if you're not transmitting, a push-up telescoping mast with a big long wire would be the way to go. I'm talking about for like listening with an SDR. If you want to transmit, then there's all kinds of different options. That's a whole different discussion.
Well, it'd be receiving to start with, obviously, but when you say a telescopic, can you explain a little bit more? How would that work?
Yeah, so they make these things called telescoping push-up masts, made of carbon fiber or what am I thinking of? Jeez. Carbon fiber is the primary material, fiberglass. And they're just sectional telescoping masts, and you push them up, and they make little slots that you can feed them into for a van. myriad of ways to set them up. You just have to look them up.
So would that be a vertical mast completely, or does it need to have some horizontal attachment to some other place? So I've got like a long wire.
No, it's you'd have a long wire that would come out of the van, and the long wire would go up to the very tippity top of the mast, and then probably it's going to be longer than the top of the mast, and then that's going to come out and go to something, the other side of the van, or a tree that's nearby, or something like that, just to get the full length of the wire out there. And that'll give you a big, long, big wide frequency space you can operate or listen on.
We're not talking like a vertical mast, like
it's a vertical mast,
like you'd have on like a CB sort of thing, where it's just like a 6 meter whip or something.
When I say mast, hold on,
a horizontal wire.
No, hold on. So a mast holds things. An antenna is usually the metallic bit. So I'm not talking about a vertical antenna. I'm talking about a mast used to elevate a wire above the ground. So if somebody drops the link, I think somebody did. I'll just pull this up as an example. I'll pull up the Jack Kite one. So if you're watching me on YouTube right now, why didn't it? Hold on. 1 second. So let me pull this up. So this is a big tube, right? Big tube, but it contains multiple smaller tubes inside of it, and when you extend it out all the way, it's 31 feet in the air. And so at the tip, you'd have some kind of a connector, and you'd run your wire through the connector, and so the wire would do like a triangle, right? The one side's connected to the antenna, and it's going to go up, 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 hit the top of the mast, and it's going to come down, 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 down. So you'd have like a triangle, little teepee of wire, and that's your antenna. So we use these telescoping masts for all kinds of antenna setups, all kinds of different things. You could do pretty much anything you want with one of these antenna setups, but that's primarily what we do.
Josh, I just dropped a link to DX Engineering's DX Engineering for DX Commander's classic pulse. Shows a good inside collapsed of it.
Should have dropped the one for ML&S. He's in the UK, Frank.
Well, yeah, but DX Commander's available at ML&S. I see what you're saying. Anyway, so DX Commander's available at ML&S. But yeah, so take a look at that. That's a telescoping mast. There's multiple smaller diameter cylinders. We're losing you.
I was put back on.
Yeah, your signal's going up and down. So hold on a second.
I need to mute YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just leave YouTube muted.
No, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's a series of cylinders that are collapsed into each other, and you extend it out, and you get it all the way up.
So I can hear. But is that not still a vertical antenna?
So you're hold on. So John, your audio signal is cutting in and out. I don't know if you're on a cell phone or something like that, but your signal quality is. We're not copying all of you. Is that me or is that him?
That's
okay.
him.
No, it's him.
John, you're.
Yeah, when they get like that, they can't hear you.
I could sense that. Yeah.
Yeah.
John, you've got some kind of packet loss in the network. We're losing you. You're dropping out. So let me see if I can answer your question.
Okay, I know what it is.
Okay. So I understand what you're asking. That is a vertical mast. No part of what I'm showing is a radiating bit of antenna. Your antenna it's not the antenna. It's not transmitting RF. It's not emitting any RF radiation, right? It's used to get the antenna wire at a higher spot because, as always, we want to get our antenna wire as high as we can up. We want our antenna to be at the highest point possible. And even if our wire is 60 feet long, just picking a number out doesn't mean anything. This mast is only going to take us 30 feet up, 10 meters. So, 32 feet. It's only going to take us 30 feet up. Well, I've got a 60-foot wire, so what does that look like? Well, the wire that's on the ground that connects to my radio is going to go up at an angle, get to the top of that 30-foot mast, and then whatever's left, I'm going to drag that out in the other direction just so that I get it up in the air. That's it. That's what it's doing.
Okay, I understand. I also figured out why our connection went weird, because I flicked onto YouTube and it took most of my broadband space, I think.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I paused your YouTube, so I can see what you've got on the screen. Okay. So we're talking about getting the mast up as high as possible and having a long wire.
The mast is the vertical. The wire is the antenna. We're getting the antenna up as high as we can.
Okay.
If that means we just throw a wire, we could throw a line like a just a cord into a tree. We could take a little weight and we could throw the line as far into the tree as we can, 100 feet up, and then we could hoist the wire straight up into a tree. That'd be great. That'd work fantastic.
And that's your antenna. And when we talk about masts, we're talking about the way it gets up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John, I've been dropping links in the chat for the costs of some of this stuff at MLNS, and you can, if anywhere in the UK, you can order it from them. Because, I mean, honestly, I don't know what 59 pounds plus VAT means, but that honestly for the DX Commander poles seems pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, it's not expensive. Under 100 quid, under $100.
Yeah, and then he has a 7-meter pole, slightly shorter than that. That's only 39 pounds. But anyway, MLNS has a whole range of his poles, or DX Commander poles. They have the SDR Play. All of the models of the SDR Play. And again, don't know how close you are to Heathrow, but you can run by there and look at them, and talk to the guys there, or you can order from them and they ship really anywhere in Europe, but in the UK they can definitely ship.
And Don, I dropped a link to MLNS twice now and tagged John. $59, about 77 USD. So,
thank you very much for the info on that. It's really cool.
Yeah, so that's a good place to start. When you get your, I don't know what the level of license you have yet for amateur radio in the UK, but as you start to progress there, when you get into transmitting, when you get transmit privileges on HF, then you'd probably change things up a little bit in the van, but those are all just additions you can make that are going to be, just make things more effective and easier.
Yeah, I'm kind of just on the listening side at the moment. So when I was a kid, like I don't know how old you are, but you look a similar age to me. Back in the 80s, I was into CB, and my dad got his amateur radio license, and I used to go along to the clubs. There was a club up the road, flight fueling, and I used to really enjoy it, and I used to get into I did my Morse code and stuff. I was up like sort of 20 words a minute.
Wow.
But I never did. Yeah, no, your brain absorbs stuff when you're younger, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah.
But I've kind of lost my way with it. But I kind of want to get back into it, and because I used to enjoy doing it, and hence why I'm chatting to you guys now.
Yeah, I was never a CB guy. I was a shortwave listener. I always listened to the shortwaves. That was my big thing. But,
oh my God, I've listened to you tell me about that so many times, and I resonate with that so much. When I was a kid, I used to sit up in the attic or downstairs cooking dinner and stuff, and I'd be tuning around. I'd pick up Radio Luxembourg and tune it around different times of the day. I pick up different stations, and if it was late at night, I get something else. Yeah, I used to love doing that. I'd sit there for hours trying to tune into different stations and see what I could pick up.
Did y'all ever have crystal radios?
I made one in Scouts.
How do they work?
Yeah, that was something that my dad got me like when I was 6 or 7, and I used to spend all night long trying to pull in, distant radio stations with it.
So how it worked is that's energy. The radiated RF is actual energy, and that energy is collected into that coil, and it's runs through the very simple circuit to give you that when you're using the crystal earpiece that you can actually hear what it sounds like, the AM signals usually.
Yeah. Sounds like airplanes. They shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah. No, airplanes make perfect sense. Low pressure.
No, they don't. They should crash.
No, that's as long as you keep pushing them, they go.
Yeah, it's like with the crystal radios. It's like, well, there's no power. How does it work?
No, it is. It's powered over the air. The energy is in the air. That RF that's transmitted is actual energy. Just because you can't see it, it's still energy. That's the power.
Airplanes shouldn't stay in the air because
that's just pressure. It's just high pressure, low pressure.
Hey,
I don't know how they work, but you understand what I'm saying?
Even Bill, who's a pilot, agrees airplanes are PFM, pure you-know-what magic.
No, it's not. That if you believe it, now that freaks me out. If pilots believe that scares me. Because it's literally
not stay in the air. They just. I mean, I understand the physics behind it, and I understand why they fly, but it's like crystal radio. It's like where's that energy coming from?
The transmitting station. The transmitting station.
But it's
you're talking from the engineer's point of view, but I look at wings all day, 30,000 feet above the ground, and it's PFM. I completely understand the physics and Bernoulli's principle, and I understand, but you can't see it. And as a human being, if you're not an engineer, if you can't see it, you think PFM.
Yeah,
no.
It's just like seeing RF.
Totally disagree.
Yeah, totally.
Also, Hawk, pilot here, brother, man. Helicopters are still black magic. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I'm a fixed wing pilot. I agree with that, though.
Yeah, see, thank you.
Helicopters can't fly.
Well, not only that, they fall
You guys are
apart,
scaring me.
too.
You guys are all
Helicopters
scaring
are
me.
like bumblebees. They're not meant to fly.
Light travels on photons, are right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. You don't
Light
actually
is
see the
photons.
light, you see the reflection of the light.
I mean,
hitting-
light is a photon, right?
That's what I'm saying. But you can't see the light. You actually see it reflecting off of stuff. Correct?
Yeah.
No. If you look at the sun, what do you think you're seeing? It's a thermonuclear reactor. What is that a reflection of?
Light bouncing off the other hydrogen atoms and stuff. I don't know. But the point is I shine a flashlight on something. I don't actually see the light. I see the light reflecting off of something else.
So when you turn on an incandescent light bulb and the filament burns red hot and it emits light, aside from those photons colliding with the cones and rods of your eye, and then that bounces into the interior of your eye, which picked up by your neural sensors, that is a reflection. That's true. But the photons are emitted by the filament, which is heated and emitting light photons. And that is a part of the electromagnetic spectrum. It's a part of the visible light electromagnetic spectrum.
Comment.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you, Josh. I totally am with you.
Well, you were the one that said reflections, and I'm like, well, but the light bulb is literally emitting.
It's the easiest way to explain to someone, because air molecules are bouncing off the bottom and flying over and around a wing at speeds, and it just happens to go over the top faster than it goes under the wing, which makes a low pressure system, and airplanes fly.
Now, the one thing I can say that is magic is that the ground does repel Chinook helicopters, but the reason I was told is that it finds them so ugly that the propellers actually push the Chinook to the ground. That's how they land.
Exactly.
That's what I was always told.
That is two palm trees fighting over a Dixie dumpster, is what I was told.
So, Josh.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave
I totally get the fact that...
Hold on.
Okay.
Frank, go ahead.
All right. Kim has a good point, and with that, I have to jump out because it is work time for me. think about all of the radio waves and etc. going to our bodies as we speak.
We are constantly being bombarded by electromagnetic energy, and some of that is radio frequencies. A lot of that is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Josh, everyone,
Frank.
until next time, see you later.
Thank you,
73,
Frank. Take it easy.
Deal.
All right, I too have to leave with that. I got to get ready for the podcast here because Leia's her lady friends took her out to dinner because it was her birthday this week. So I imagine she's coming back tossed. So the podcast should be pretty interesting if it gets recorded tonight.
Oh, that'll be great.
It's going to be a spicy one. Good.
So Hawk, start drinking, buddy.
I had one, so I'm yeah.
Plus all the interesting emails about Barbara Billingsley.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of the Ward, you went a little hard on the beaver last night comments.
Yes.
And there was that.
Yeah, you have fun tonight.
Definitely, I got to brush up on my physics and science on this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look into the electromagnetic spectrum. It's fascinating, and just actually, the crystal radio is kind of a good spot to start because if you think about that, right, your radio when it's in receive mode, that's just amplifying the signal, the power, the energy that's transmitted from the radiating stations, the stations that's emitting power. You're just picking up those signals and you're amplifying those signals to bring back the information that is in the form of voice or digital or whatever. But that's fundamentally what we're doing.
I think it's amazing the fact that you can pick something up with no battery power whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I love the trench radios, like the whole World War I, trench radios, building all those like with the coils and all that stuff. I love that stuff. As a scout, short waves, all that stuff I was so into that and enamored by it. But it's so much fun to learn about the science of how it actually works. So, love it. All right.
Yeah, no, my dad's so into like low power transmissions and stuff like under 5 watt sort of stuff. And see if I can get
QRP guy.
Yeah, QRP guy. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's better than like high powered thousands of watts of okay, fine, you can do that. The more power you put in, but trying to get signals around the world with super low power and picking stuff up with no power at all, that's the bit that's quite amazing to me. It's aircraft stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna wrap up here, but I will answer this question. Where's the podcast after this? So my wife and I record a podcast every week, or generally every week. It is the Ham Radio Crash Course podcast, wherever you podcast. So if it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever, if you search Ham Radio Crash Course podcast, you'll find it. And that's it. Every week. No video. It's just audio. Traditional old people podcast type stuff. But that's it. So I'm gonna say.
Did that, and I will go look it up.
Oh yeah, we've been doing it for years. We've got we're well over 100 episodes. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I gotta head out. So I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody on the Discord. Have a great rest of your evening. Take it easy.
73.
73. See ya. And I will answer. I guess I'll answer this last question because it's. Let's see. Love. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's the subject? Well, it's called Ham Radio Crash Course, so it's ham radio related. But the podcast can go anywhere to 3 hours in some cases or more, and it's multiple segments. So my wife is taking her general practice exams. I usually have a show topic, which is ham radio related. We do a movie review. We read emails from listeners. We do a preparedness corner. My wife is actually very into personal preparedness, so we talk about prepping, basically, and tons of stuff. If you haven't listened to it, just go try it, and then you tell me what it's about, because I don't even know sometimes. All right, I'm going to leave my Raspberry Pi running all night. I'm just going to leave it in the backyard. Who cares? We're just going to let that thing run. So yeah, thank you for watching, Drone Eyes. I appreciate that, and appreciate all of you too for watching. That was fun. Just doing some. Where's my? There we go. That's me. Had fun just doing some satellite stuff. I'm gonna let this run, and I'm gonna refine my antenna system. I'm gonna find a nice portable, circularly polarized, kind of omnidirectional receiving antenna, and I'm gonna get that in a way that I can pack it up and take it anywhere for demonstrations, for scouting campouts that I go on. In fact, I have a scouting campout coming up here at the end of the month which I'm dragging this out, and I'm going to show all these kids. I'm like, look at this. This is from space. Look at this signal right here. That's a satellite. I love it. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Enjoy the memes. Don't worry, I'll play you out. You don't have to go home on the Discord. You guys have fun, but I'm out of here. 73. Thanks for watching. Oh, thank you, buddy. Interstellar Starman. Appreciate you. Don't even start me on space radio. I always wondered how the tight beams worked on The Expanse. That's a curiosity I don't understand. Yeah, thanks for watching, man. I can't, actually, I take that back. I don't know if you're a man or a lady or what you refer to yourself as, but thank you for finding the channel. Yeah, she's not back yet, so I don't know how it's going to go. We'll see.
Like a man and give us a call.